7 hours later, I got a text from Noah, and he's like, he came into work on time.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
That's impressive.
He came into work on time, and then Elliot told us after the fact. He goes, I came home and immediately, or he's like, I got in, I said hello, and then I went to the bathroom and immediately puked.
Hell yeah.
I
Idiot.
love it. So
You-
stupid.
God bless our soldiers.
God bless him.
Go Army.
Go on.
That's what he would say.
He would say that.
Oh my God. Well, you boys ready to Wango Tango Foxtrot this?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right.
What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know. That's what the Army
Well, it
does.
would still
It's
be
WTF.
F. Yeah, it would still do it. Yeah, it's just not the correct.
Also,
you got-
Wango is not an actual numeral used for, or not numeral,
whiskey.
but yeah, whiskey.
Well,
Whiskey tango.
Whiskey Foxtrot Tango.
in any sense. Cheers, boys.
Fucking cheers, bud.
Cheers.
Cheers, fellas.
Welcome to the show, everybody. I am your host,
Oh
Nick.
yes, the sip.
The sip.
Got it right on cam.
You know what? No. We are your hosts. I got Evan, Brody, and myself, Nick, with you guys. This is our 5th or 6th year.
I don't fucking know.
One of
We've
the
done
two.
this a lot.
Well, we are back with our annual Game Awards predictions and wishes. So with that, it's going to be a long episode. Always a long episode. Maybe a lot of this we'll be able to cruise through. But before we get to it, we are sponsored, and this episode in particular is sponsored by Final Boss and Doc Longy. Proudly wearing the first Final Boss shirt I ever got, which is OG Doom shirt. Ooh, you're in trouble.
I know. I'm sorry, Final Boss. I'm not wearing a Final Boss shirt today.
I did purposefully
My
pick this
bad.
shirt because I knew I'd have the camera on. So yeah, love the Fallout shirt. Love all the Fallout merch is great.
I have Uncle Ben's garage on.
Well, it's
not
still
sponsored, but still cool.
Send me the link to that shirt because I'll get that shirt if it's still around. Because
He
that's
doesn't
awesome.
have it anymore.
But anyways, what you should do is check out our sponsors. Link below. Final Boss, Doc Longy. Go check it out. Join the Spawn Camp Discord. It is free. It's a good time. Come watch movies with us. Watch the Game Awards with the community while we live stream it next Thursday live on Twitch. So be there for that. Join the server to talk with everybody about the Game Awards, your hopes, your wishes, what you want to see happen during this Game Award. Spawn Camp, Final Boss, we're good. Let's go, baby. Guys.
Yeah.
5 or 6 years. Something like that. But this journey started. Was that one of the first episodes we were on with Diggity? Was a Game Awards episode? I think it was.
It was certainly up there as one of the first collabs we did. I think we had gotten together one other time prior, and then we're like, "Hey, motherfuckers, why don't we just do this shit together?"
Yeah.
And so yeah, this is tradition. We are. I mean, we don't have Hefe here, but other than that, this is the crew that's been doing this for fucking while now.
Yeah.
Brody.
Yes.
You want to give the audience who may not have heard our previous ones a rundown on how we're about to do this?
Yeah, I can do that as the resident rule lawyer here. So what we are going to do, if you listen to our last episode, we went through and just kind of listed off all of the nominees and kind of just bullshitted a little bit about it. This go around, we are actually going to do 2 things. 3 things. We're gonna bullshit as we usually do.
Yes.
But we are also going to go through the nominees yet again, and we are going to, God damn it, we're doing 4 things, sorry. We're actually going to go through the nominees again, and then we are going to give not only our pick for the category, what we would like to see, but also what our prediction of who is going to win. So it is kind of a twofold thing. That being said, I keep track of all of this in a spreadsheet, both our pick and our prediction. And I will, after or during the Game Awards, I will be going through and writing out the winner, and I will determine who is the king of the Game Awards and who got the most predictions correct. Your pick does not fucking count.
Yes.
Your prediction is what counts. But I do like to keep track of the picks anyway, because I do find it quite amusing. But anyway, that is what we are going to be doing here, and it will be lengthy. I mean, we definitely did the whole nominee thing. This is going to be probably longer, and I think the nominee thing was already quite long. So if
Yes.
you just want to hear the nominees, go listen to our last episode. But I think this is going to be a great conversation, and we're going to have a lot of fun with it. We're
So
also
much fun.
all drinking, so what could possibly go wrong?
Yeah. I
Absolutely
mean,
nothing.
Evan and I got work tomorrow. You don't have work tomorrow, so
I don't have shit.
you're just chilling.
Lucky
I'm just
Brody.
hanging out.
I mean, oh,
I'll
so
be
in
okay.
the YouTube, everyone gets to see me turn Evan up. That's great. I just like that stream. Ignore that
Oh,
behind the scenes.
oh, my
Nothing
chest.
but the most professional streams here. This is what we do.
That was a little
What do
quiet.
you want? What do you want
A
from me?
little quiet. What do you want?
Yeah, no. Every year's been fun. We kind of no one actually wins a prize. That's
No,
not
we
been
don't
No,
win
established yet.
shit.
it's just bragging rights for like a day,
Yeah.
like a day.
Everyone goes, "Oh, good on you," I guess, and it's like, "Yeah, you damn right, good on me."
Well, I mean, your whole "be nice to me, I got a house" lasted longer than the King of the Game Awards last year.
This is
Like
true.
this year, this is gonna yeah.
Oh man, it's the
By
coveted.
about 2 years.
I
Yeah,
used
he did that for a long
I.
time.
It was a way for me not to be bothered.
I
It
don't think
worked
it
somewhat.
worked.
No, it
I
didn't.
think we
I take
just
it
gave you
back.
shit about the be nice to me. I just bought a house for longer, quite frankly.
Well, if you're also
Well,
new
it
here, go on, Evan. I want you to go. I would like for you to go.
oh, I don't like that at all. The way he said that, or the way he
Hope
looked at
this
me.
email finds you before I do.
That I have been waiting to send that to somebody. Just waiting for the day. Well, Birdie was right because eventually we just started giving you shit because it would be like 6 months later and we go, "You did that 6 months ago, G." Like it doesn't matter anymore.
What do you want me to do? Doing my best. That's my other
Yeah.
thing. I'm doing my best, or what happened.
What
So,
happened? Yeah,
but
What
that's a
happened?
classic.
yeah,
What
if you're
happened?
new, if you're new here, that's how this has always worked with us. Um, I'm usually the one to mess it up. So let's just start out hard, strong like bull. We'll start with the first
Yes.
category. These first few categories are usually a breeze. These are the ones that we just kind of are able to just rifle through, and then we get to the meat and potatoes later on in the show. So I'm going to announce the best esports team again. And I need to move this over to this monitor. We are professionals. I'm doing this on the fly. Timeout. Best esports team. We got Billy Gaming, League of Legends. Gen G, League of Legends. Navi, Counter Strike. T1, League of Legends. Team Liquid, Dota 2. Before we go, I saw an excellent meme today where it was a dude checking on a South Korean friend after the whole martial law thing was imposed.
Mhm.
And the text goes, "Hey, how you doing in South Korea? Martial law?" He goes, "Don't know, playing League of Legends." And he goes, "Yeah, but your country just went into martial law playing League of Legend." And that's how the text
Yeah, I don't know
stops.
what you didn't understand.
Like, it was just so
Did I not make it clear the
Martial
first time?
law later, league now.
now.
Yeah.
Um, does
More
anyone need me to
important things.
repeat anything, or do we have it?
No. Well,
Okay,
no,
yes,
we
sir.
are all good.
Cool. So my yes,
Pick first,
yes,
then prediction.
yes. My pick is gonna
Go fuck
be.
it up halfway through this.
I will. My pick is
You
gonna be
will.
for Navi.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It has to be. That is the ultimate in my opinion right now. Unfortunately, sometimes their Counter Strike play can be hot and cold, but when they're on the ball in tournaments, they are on it. I love it, and I have to go. I have to root for the Romanian on the team. I just have to. You know, we got common motherland, so I'm rooting for Navi. That's my pick. Now, who I think will win, I would like to say Navi, but I honestly think it would probably be Team Liquid,
Okay.
who I think will
Yeah.
win.
Evan, what you got, buddy?
My pick is going to be Navi. They're the only team I know on here. Plus, I actually like them because of Nick, really. My prediction is going to be because I don't know who they are or how good they are. I'm going to say Gen G
Okay.
Okay.
just as a
Okay.
wild card pick.
All right.
I
Yeah.
respect it.
As always with the esports categories, we have a ton of League of Legends in here for sure.
Yeah.
So my pick is actually going to be T1. Um,
Okay.
and then my prediction is going to be Navi. And I think the reason I am predicting Navi is because Counter Strike 2
Yes.
was released this year. So I think it's going to get a lot of support this year. And I think we're going to see, being the only Counter Strike team here, I think they have a pretty good fucking shot, right?
Yeah.
So that is where I am at on this. So,
Dope. Cool.
Sure.
yeah.
Who's doing
I,
best athlete?
That'd be Brody.
Yes. So the fun part about this whole, okay, yeah, cool. I'm doing this on the website. I'm voting as we go through, so that's kind of fun. So
Same
best
here.
esport, and it like wants to take you to the next category, which we're starting from the ass end of this, and
Yeah.
so it wants to
Yeah,
shoot
you
me
have to
back
go
to the front.
previous.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So it's fine. Anywho, our next category is the best esports athlete. So it says the esports athlete judged to be the most outstanding for performance and conduct in 2024, irrespective of game. So first off, we have 33, Alexibi,
Yeah.
Chovy, Faker, Zaiwu, and ZMJJKK. I am sure there's a better way to say that, but that is how I went with it. So my vote in this category specifically is going to be Faker, actually. Um, Faker gets brought up all of the time if you hear about League of Legends. Like, he is known for being the best
Yes.
fucking League of Legends player by a long shot.
He's
That
incredible.
being said, and this is in conjunction with what I said on this last one, Alexi B is who my prediction goes to.
Fuck
For
yeah.
sure.
Evan or me?
It's
Evan.
Brody's pick. Okay, so my pick for this is going to be Alexi B, but my prediction is going to be Faker.
Okay, yeah. So
I think
reverse on
yeah,
this here.
truly, I think he'll
Very good.
he'll sweep that. Yeah, just because, like you said, he is by far and away the best league player. So I think
Oh,
that sort of has a bigger thing over just CS2 being a bigger game on the scene this time, maybe.
yeah.
Um, Solely because of the category. But yeah, my pick is Alexi. Prediction Faker.
Hell yeah. What you
Pick.
got?
You know it goes to the Navi boy, Alexi B. It
Yeah.
has to go to the Navi boy. But
Of
I'm
course.
gonna give my prediction to the Vitality boy, which is Zaiwu.
Okay.
Okay.
Both of those
Okay.
players in Counter Strike 2 are at their like peak performance right now. It's been a blast watching them play in tournaments, especially the majors, and all that. Like, they're both amazing to watch. I would like Alexi B to. I would like for him to win, right? But I think Zaiwu is just it's Zaiwu. But I mean, Navi won a tournament this year too, so I mean, let's go. It's I think Zaiwu's gonna win it, but I want Alexi B to win it.
I actually made my picks ahead of time when I was making up the spreadsheet, and I'm now thinking, I'm like, I went really heavy on Counter-Strike in this whole esports category, and I'm like,
Yeah.
fair enough to some extent, but I also feel like I kind of do side with Evan's prediction of Faker winning this, but Zywoo's also a fucking great pick. So it is kind of
Yeah.
one of those things. I do think that that's probably going to end up coming down to a actual League of Legends player in the grand scheme of things, but I'm not changing my fucking pick because I already said it. So,
Let's go. Go.
Evan, next one is yours, my friend.
Real quick, just on that last one, I'd like to point out that Nick in private has said that he's better than both Zaiwu and Alexi B. So do with that what you will,
No, I
audience.
didn't.
Moving on to best esports game
I
before he
heard
can
if they
retort.
kill you in Counter Strike, you die in real life.
For the game that has delivered the best overall esports experience to players, inclusive of tournaments, community support, and content updates, irrespective of genre or platform, we have Counter Strike 2, Dota 2, League of Legends, Mobile Legends Bang Bang, and Valorant.
The fact that there's a mobile game on here is
Yeah.
crazy to me. I get it, but also, what?
Nick, what's your pick and prediction?
Pick and prediction are the same. Counter Strike 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Brody?
It's one of the hotter
Or sorry.
games. Well, it's the follow up to
Go ahead.
CS:GO. Everyone's, the lead up to it was insane. Like the internet did break that day when Valve was finally like Counter-Strike 2 is coming, and then like what up?
I was just gonna say, along with that, to point out, they did launch this in the middle of a different tournament that was running with like the teams,
And
like professional teams. They
they had
just
to switch to see.
dropped it. They're
Damn.
just like, here you go. We don't really care about your shit.
Yeah,
But sorry,
play
go on.
this now. But no, I think CS2 is getting better. Not in a perfect place right now by any means, but people are loving it. And if you watch those tournaments, the crowds are full, just like they would be for Dota or League right now. Valorant, I just don't think has that power. I know it's loved, but
I agree.
if CS is going to lose, it would lose to Dota or League. But I'm
I agree.
CS
Yeah.
for both.
I
Okay.
Okay. Yeah,
Fair.
I would say if it's going to lose to anything, it's going to lose to League. I think Dota is
Yeah.
starting to maybe lose a little bit of steam. And League, especially with Arcane coming out this year, is more popular than it's ever fucking been. Or
Right.
the second season of Arcane, right? So I think it is in a good spot there. That being said, I also am my pick would be Counter Strike as well. And considering it's, I mean, the new game, right? Kind of
Yeah.
in quotation marks if you
It's
aren't
in
watching the
Source too.
video.
Yeah.
Absolutely, like it is a newish, but also not. My prediction is also still going to be Counter Strike as well. Uh, I think out of everything that's here, I think I know I went pretty heavy on the Counter Strike, even on the athlete and team, but I think definitely for esports game, I think Counter Strike has it.
For sure. We are all in agreement here. My pick and prediction as well is Counter Strike 2 because I think there would be it would be kind of mind blowing for anything else to beat it this year. I think it was you had it dropped and you had the first major and that major was insane watching that because we watched that in Spawn Camp. We watched that in the Discord. You should join it by the way, listeners and viewers of
Attaboy.
I was
yeah.
wasted for the final.
Oh, it's great. That's exactly why it's awesome.
Eric, final
I
boss, was
think it's
there.
just
So
too strong. Yeah, he was there. I remember. Yeah, we were both jealous of that. But I think that that experience watching that with you guys at home compared to whatever it was there in person,
ugh,
um, just has to set it apart from all these other nominees for me personally. And also, it is the game that I grew up playing and getting used to in high school. Like actually learning how to play shooters like well was Counter Strike teaching me all that stuff. So to see it have a resurgence and to come back to life and have all this new stuff. And thank you, Gabe Newell, for giving me a knife in Counter Strike 2. We'll always remember you, baby boy.
Gaben the skinnier.
Yes, Gabe in the white.
Gaben the
Even
white.
the
Not
less
Gabe in the
thick.
gray.
Yes.
Gabe in the less thick. But yeah, CS is my pick and prediction.
How did I get stuck on this fucking category again? Happened on
Every
con-
year.
content create. This you guys did it on purpose. Content creator of the year for a streamer or content creator who has made an important and positive impact on the community in 2024. I don't know. I know this fat guy Queso. That's about it. So we got Queso, Iluan, Techo Games, Typical Gamer, and Usada Picora. Again, I'm just gonna get. You know what? My pick is gonna be the fat guy Queso,
Okay.
and then my prediction is gonna be Usada Picora because VTubers are like the cream of the crop at the moment. People love VTubers. That's my pick.
Fair
The
enough.
other dickheads, I don't know. I don't know any of these guys. We're making friends here.
Certainly.
Yeah. Uh, I don't. I literally only know one of these people, and I know them solely because of my children. So, I'm going to vote for Queso, not because my children watch Queso, but I've heard of Queso. I suppose I've never watched anything from him. This picture on the Game Awards website is the first time I have ever seen him, and he's outside of a Waffle House, so I'm fucking in. That being said, my prediction is going to be Typical Gamer. Typical Gamer is quite popular amongst the youths. Um, And like I said, he's the only one that I've actually seen a video of because unfortunately my children enjoy watching YouTubers and most of them are terrible and this is one of said YouTubers. So,
Can't believe no donkey.
right? No
Snubbed
fucking
year
donkey.
after year.
There's so many good gaming YouTubers like WASD and beyond on the Spawn
Right.
Camp channel, but
I'm
here
late
we are.
most of the time uploading, but I'm here still.
Yeah.
I get text from Brody. Hey man, I'm at
Hey
work, but
man.
I noticed that you didn't post a video, and I go, "Oh, it's definitely going up." And then it
He's
gets,
running downstairs as he's typing that to you.
I've done that twice. I'm like, "Fuck."
He's saying that with Siri as he's walking down the stairs. He's like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'm uploading it right now.
Yeah.
He's
Oh
like,
my god.
Oh, it must have fucked up.
Yeah.
just
uh
made a mistake.
what is your pick and your prediction, Evan?
Oh,
What you
dude,
got?
it's the man outside Waffle House. It's queso for both of them.
Okay.
Pick and
Okay.
prediction.
Hell yeah.
I have only ever seen queso through Instagram reels or TikToks that I am sent of him reacting to people calling him different sorts of fat things. And
Yeah, fair.
it is over just mindless brain rot footage of some mobile game. So it's like I'm really only paying attention to his voice, and the TikTok is keeping me confused. But he does not look like a Ferris wheel, regardless of what they say in his chat.
Can I?
But I love
As he
him.
goes round and round.
I love him. So he is my pick and my prediction. And also, I
Oh yeah.
mean, come on, that's some serious aura to be making your photo for the Game Awards outside of a Waffle House looking disheveled,
It's
whereas
beautiful.
everybody else has a professional sort of photo or it's like a VTuber.
Can,
That's some confidence, and I think that deserves some attention.
I
before
agree.
before anyone comes at me for calling him fat, I'm not making fun of him because he's fat. Because I'm fat. Making fun of him because he's fat and he's an asshole. And you can't be both.
He's apparently a nice guy,
Probably.
Listen,
But I don't
I
like
know
his
which
plenty
content.
is
of fat
which is which
assholes.
is partially why I'm also like inclined to vote for him because he seems like a pretty out of all of those people, even though I've never watched the other four, he seems like the most normal out of all of them.
Okay,
And
so
I think the
Yeah.
Waffle House photo reflects that.
even though I called you fat, hop on the show. We'll talk. I'm sorry for calling you fat. Not
Oh,
nice.
if you guys get queso, I'll lose my mind.
Not
That'd be
nice.
fucking
I
sweet.
don't know you as a person. So it's not
That'd
nice.
be
I
incredible.
think we should record it from a Waffle House.
That'd be awesome.
Your kids would be like,
Oh
wow,
yeah.
my dad's cool. I would somehow.
That's
Oh
right.
yeah, it would definitely. Oh yeah, dude.
I don't
Oh
think he ever
shit.
talks to me because
Incredible.
I was making fun of him, but that's fine.
Yeah.
He got money. He's fine.
And guess what? He gets content. He gets content when people make fun of him. He makes
Yeah.
money every time somebody calls him fat.
Damn it.
The best part is like
People
they
call us
sometimes
stupid, and we still don't get any fucking money.
that's true. That's true.
A scam,
Well,
I
the
tell
best
you.
part is when they come through. They come through the PSN messages, which I love even more because it's like they messaged him on his PSN account. They didn't even do it through Twitch chat. They just found
Yeah.
him on PSN, and they were like, "Yo, you're fat." And it's just like, what the fuck?
Oh
Oh,
That's
fuck.
all
so fucked up.
right. So our first, I'm not gonna. I want to say real category. It feels really bad to say that, but the first category that anybody gives a shit about and that they don't really typically announce during the pre-show, most anticipated game. This
Yes.
is recognizing an announced game that has been demonstrably illustrated potential to push the gaming medium forward. All right.
All
So,
right.
first up, we have Death Stranding 2 on the beach, Ghost of Yotai, Grand Theft Auto 6. For those of you that don't know Roman numerals, that's a V and an I.
Thanks, Brody.
Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, and Monster Hunter Wilds.
Who's going
Damn.
first?
I think Evan is going first.
If you want to take, yeah, I'll go. So let me just say, this is also the first category where I feel conflicted because I'm voting right now as
Yes.
well. Um, Out of these five, three are of interest to me. Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotai, and Grand Theft Auto 6. My pick for this personally is probably going to be Grand Theft Auto 6 because I've been waiting since I was like 13, 14 for this thing, man.
Don't get me started.
So that's a bad precedent to start with. I apologize. With you in the room, I apologize. I
How
realize that
fucking
now.
adorable.
I know. Yeah, he's like, hello, Kettle. he's like, he's like, let me tell you what. My prediction, my prediction is also going to be Grand Theft Auto 6. I think a lot of people are really excited for Death Stranding 2 and Ghost of Yotai, right? Um, I think a lot of people are really excited for both those games. I just don't think it matches what GTA 6 has built up over 10 years.
Yeah.
Just through that alone. Um, but yeah, pick and prediction both GTA 6.
My personal pick would be Death Stranding 2 on the beach. This is a game I know, and I know Final Boss heard that and went, ugh, chill.
I stand
I'm
with
excited
Final
for it.
Boss.
Like I am. I think it'll be a lot of fun as well. But
That's my pick. I loved the first Death Stranding game. I have my BB right over my head. You can see him on the shelf. Or I'm not gonna go into that because you didn't play the game. Whatever. Um, I'm really excited for it. I love Kojima. I like the games he makes. So that's my pick. Now, what I think is gonna fucking take the cake is GTA 6. There is nothing in its path right now. These games are all great. Death Stranding, Ghost of Yotai, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, and Monster Hunter uh, Wilds. These are all big games. Like, nothing here is short of a huge game. But nothing here is Grand Theft Auto 6. You know, the only
yep.
other game I think that would have matched its energy would have been Half-Life 3. Oh, we got our first eye roll.
Fuck. No, I was eye rolling already when you were glazing Kojima.
He
But
did. He did.
yeah,
I
don't
saw
worry.
that.
It's the second eye roll of this category alone. But yeah, I imagine if Half-Life 3 was a real thing that was ever going to happen, it would most definitely be here.
His eye like twitched. I think he
Those
almost gave
those
him like a mini stroke or something. I got worried.
those are my picks.
Very good. Uh to echo some of what Nick said, these are all huge games. The problem with Metroid Prime 4 is Metroid has always kind of fallen into almost that B tier for Nintendo in a way. And also, if this motherfucking thing comes out on the Switch, the Switch One,
It'll blow
fuck,
up.
it'll blow the fuck up. Like people will be going to the hospital with their fingers blown off because
Like the
god damn it,
Samsungs.
man. Yeah, right.
Yep.
This thing has
Flashback.
to come out on Switch 2 or else I'm not even going to buy this fucking thing. And I love Metroid, so that's unfortunate. But anywho, there's a lot of fucking great games here, or assuming great games, right? Like Death Stranding, as much as it is not a me game, I don't care for the artsy fartsy bullshit, to be perfectly honest. And I understand some people love it, like Nick. Um,
Not pretentious.
I
yeah,
like it.
yeah, it's very pretentious. It's I don't think it has the gravitas that it needs to win this category. I really think this category is going to come down to Ghost of Yotai and Grand Theft Auto 6. And honestly, how the fuck can you compete with GTA? Like you just can't. It is
Right.
year after year. I mean, the highest selling game like constantly. It's a crazy. It's
Highest
like
selling
how
form of media, no?
It's the
uh,
most
I
yeah, it's the
mean,
most profitable entertainment product ever. It's made like $6 billion or something like that last
yeah, it depends on
I
how you
don't know.
break
It
that down,
depends.
right? Because if you look
Yeah.
at something like Pokemon, like you can't
It all
compete with
it it
Pokemon,
all
Okay,
right?
yeah.
depends, right? Yeah,
So,
whatever
uh,
metric you're going by, really.
that being said, like I want to say Monster Hunter Wilds, but I am very scared after how the beta went. It did not run super well. I've also heard some people that have gone to the recent preview that they did, and it still was not running perfectly. And that is a concern that I have about this game. I am stupid excited for this because I love Monster Hunter, and this is going to be a game that takes up so much of my time and energy. But my pick personally is going to be Ghost of Yotai. Uh, Fucking Ghost of Tsushima is so fucking good.
It is.
Absolutely one of my favorite games that I played on the PS4, and I cannot wait to jump back into this world again. It is the Ubisoft formula, but done so much better. And
By
I
far and away, yeah.
yeah, like
Right.
not even close.
Like,
Uh,
yes, yeah.
uh,
Like, they beat Ubisoft in their own
yeah,
formula as far as I'm
yeah.
concerned.
They took that
Like,
formula and said, "This is mine now, motherfucker."
oh,
Uh,
yeah, dude.
and God, it's just so good. So
Mhm.
that is my personal pick. That being said, it's gonna be GTA. Like I don't know how anything beats GTA in this
You
category.
can't.
Not even
Yeah.
close. This game, I was not 14 when GTA 5 came out. I was a little bit
Apologies.
older, but I remember like where I was in the company that I work for now. Like I remember what I was doing. I remember reading articles as this game was coming out and like how life was at that point. And so it is a kind of a weird time capsule. But
I
yeah,
think
man.
each GTA has its own, especially like Brody and I are a bit older, right? So like, I remember GTA 3. I definitely remember
Mhm,
playing that with my dad. I remember San Andreas. I remember
mhm.
Yeah.
Vice City. I remember where I was when GTA 4 came out, being able to play Nico Bellic, and how
Yep.
excited I
Mhm.
was for that. And then again, like GTA 5 comes out, and I'm living at Tara's house at that point. I had taken over her living room. I told the story. I took over her living room. She had nowhere to sit. I had put a fucking chair in front of the TV, and I went and I just vegged out for weeks. All I did was GTA 5. It was amazing, an amazing experience through and through. So GTA
Hell yeah.
6, no way anything's good. It's not possible.
No. No. Absolutely not. But Ghost of Yotai. Fuck yeah.
Death Stranding 2. Let's go.
Eh.
Evan said GTA
I'm
6. Get the
excited.
fuck out of
I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm
here.
excited for Ghost of. Out of all those three, I'd say if I had to rank him as like most anticipated to least, I'd probably say GTA 6, Ghost of Yotai, and then Death Stranding 2, solely because Ghost of Tsushima was the first, like the full time I really played it through, or mostly got through it. I still haven't finished it yet on PC. On PC, it's like the best PlayStation release
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
Like it is perfectly optimized. It runs. I just said that it runs incredibly well. It is so beautiful. Everything is like flows perfectly. Like Birdie said, it's just the Ubisoft formula done correctly, like the way it should be done.
Yeah.
And um, it was incredible. But to add on to like your GTA memories, guys, like so I realized I was actually 13 when it came out, because it was July when Last of Us came out and I played through that, and then September was when GTA 5 came out. And I remember going, that was like I think my first midnight release.
Oh, midnight releases.
Oh,
My
hell
first
yeah.
midnight release was with my dad. We went to the Best Buy in our town, and we got two copies because he wanted one for home and then he wanted to bring one to the office so people could play when they were like taking a break or whatever, because they had like an Xbox or whatever in there. So we I remember we got home and then we opened it up and we saw that there was a install disc and then a play disc, and put the install disc in, and it's 1%. 10 minutes go by, 2%, and he was like, you should go to bed, you got school in the morning. I was like, fuck. I was like, dude, this
Damn
is
it.
stupid. I was like, this sucks. Why do they release on a Tuesday? But and then I remember GTA 4. I remember I was like, oh my god, I was like probably 9, and I was talking to my cousin. I was talking my cousin's ear off about that game because I loved the idea of an open world game. I had never played one. I mean, at that point, my experience was limited to Medal of Honor, COD, a little bit of Battlefield, and like other sort of like kid games or like Ratchet and Clank, Sly Cooper, that sort of stuff. So like didn't have that full scope, but like I got it to the point where he eventually told me, he's like, you need to stop talking about this. Like you're going too long. And as was this like, so that's kind of why I'm so excited for it as well, because it's been that thing throughout my life of like this, every time one of those games comes out, it resets almost
Yeah.
Yeah.
like what it means to be a gamer, what it means to make a game that in depth. And they seem to be very intent on proving that again with
I
this. So
I will say it's going to be interesting to see how GTA evolves in the 11 years it's been since release. And
I agree.
also on top of that, the main Hauser brother that used to write all of the stories is gone. So it
Yes.
I'm sure it is going to be great, and I'm sure it is going to just sell gangbusters again, but it will be
Hmm.
interesting to see how they evolve because some of the shit they've done in the past, like I don't know if they're going to be able to get away with in the same capacity or to the same level that they have in the past. So it'll be interesting.
Absolutely.
But that
I
being
agree.
said, I mean, the whole world is fucking waiting for this game.
I mean,
Dude.
yeah, that trailer. I mean, they had to release the trailer last year because they got leaked. Like, they didn't even
Yeah,
release it because they wanted to at that point. They had planned for it, but then it was just like, hey, somebody else already posted it, so here you go. Like,
yeah,
which I think is crazy that they've gone essentially now. What? It's the fourth. 3 more days, I think, or something like that, until it's been a year
Yep.
since we saw the first trailer, something like that. So
yeah.
that's
Radio
kind of
Dark,
crazy.
man. That's good though.
I
That
mean,
means they're fucking plugging away. I'd rather them keep
that's
plugging
true.
away at it than put out trailers for trailers do very little, right? Like in the grand
Right.
scheme of things.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised to see it at the Game Awards
I wouldn't be
next
either.
next week. I
Yeah,
would
I
not be
bet we see
surprised to see
something.
some gameplay. I would say maybe a little bit of gameplay or something like that, just
I
to
bet a
because
new trailer.
I could see gameplay mixed into the trailer, not like a
Yeah,
gameplay video. But I
Yeah.
know
yeah,
that like for Red Dead 2, they sort of did that where it was like they had a trailer, couple like another trailer, and then they did some like gameplay videos to explain to people. But I could see that happening. But if it's supposed to release next winter fall time, who knows?
yeah.
Um, but
Hit
moving
us
on.
with that next category. We still got
Yes,
24 of these motherfuckers to get through.
we do. Best adaptation, recognizing outstanding creative work that faithfully and authentically adapts a video game to another entertainment medium. We have Arcane, Fallout, Knuckles, Like a Dragon, Yakuza, and Tomb Raider: The Legend of Lara Croft. Nick, what's your pick? What's your prediction?
My pick and prediction is Fallout. This was the show that kept giving. This was the show that took America and the world by storm. You couldn't go anywhere without people talking about how good this show was. People who didn't even play the game watched the show and went, "Holy shit! I now need to play the game." The anticipation for season 2 was so great that they've already started filming as of today or yesterday, where Walton Goggles was gearing up to be the ghoul again.
His name's Goggins,
Goggles.
not
Yes.
Goggles.
I had to.
He said he does that shit for the love of the game.
Yeah. Walton Goggles is gearing up. So,
Uh,
no, it has to be Fallout for me on both ends. It has to be. Arcane is amazing from what I heard, and I know I need to watch it. Knuckles is something I'm excited to watch with my son. Like a Dragon, Yakuza, I haven't heard much about it. And then Tomb Raider, haven't heard much about it. But I know that Arcane and Fallout are titans right now in that sphere. So I'm gonna have to side with Fallout.
For
fair
sure.
enough.
Brody?
Uh,
Hmm.
so I think Knuckles is hurt by the fact it is locked to Paramount. Which I mean, the movies
Yeah.
have actually been quite good.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
do enjoy the movies. Watch them with the kids; they really enjoy them. Like it's honestly way better than it has any right to do or to be. But being locked onto Paramount, the worst of the streaming services, does
Yeah.
it no fucking favors. Like a Dragon Yakuza, from my understanding, I haven't watched any of it, but I have heard it's not great. And I think that's just it's something that's hard to replicate what the games do. Like the games are a lot of fun, they're goofy. I feel like a live action version of it just probably doesn't play super well.
Yeah.
And it's a very like it's pretty fucking niche, let's be honest here.
Mhm.
Tomb Raider, Netflix has done a dog shit job of even promoting this fucking thing.
I
I
didn't
have
know it was
never
out.
I didn't even
once
know it existed until just
yeah,
now.
I have never once seen anything on Netflix's homepage. Mind you, I watch anime on Netflix. Like, why
Oh,
has
so it
this
should like
never? Yeah, it
it should
should
show up
be
for you.
fucking front and center. You dumped a bunch of
Okay.
money into this. Why is it not here? So they've done a just completely dropped the ball. So again, I agree. This is going to come down to Arcane and Fallout. I have enjoyed both of them quite a lot. That being said, my pick and my prediction are both Arcane.
I
I
expected
think
that.
one thing that will give it a bit of an edge as well is recency bias.
Mm,
Whereas
okay.
Fallout came out in the first half of the year, Arcane
It's
is
true.
like top of mind right now. I know some people had some qualms with season 2, but fuck me, man. That show is incredible.
I know there was
And
drama for the ending. I know the ending was different in China, people were
that
saying,
doesn't
but like
yeah.
that was weird drama I heard for such an amazing show, and I was like, we're really gonna grasp at straws now.
Oddly
Is this the
enough,
last season? Sorry.
yeah, yeah. This is it for
This is
Arcane.
it.
Arcane
It
is
was
Oh
now
just the
shit!
done.
two? Okay.
It's just
Okay,
the 2 seasons. They
I
are
didn't
gonna
know.
continue to do more shows, but this is it for Arcane itself.
Gotcha.
Um, Oddly enough, the character who plays, why can't I not think of her name from Fallout, the main,
Ella Purnell.
yeah, Ella Purnell is also the voice of Jinx.
That's sweet.
I hate how
So,
quick I was. I'm sorry.
I was trying to think of her name in the show, but, I
You
was
said main
I wanted
character
to
in
say
Fallout, and it
Lily,
was
and I'm
like,
like, "I know that's
damn,
not fucking right."
it's Lucy.
Lucy,
Yeah.
yeah, I was on the right track.
Stop me, arrest me right now. This is
Yeah,
bad.
starting to sound like an obsession. Uh,
No, no, don't get me.
uh
Don't get me.
But no, I have to give it to Arcane for both my pick and my prediction. Fallout was incredible. I don't get me wrong, and this is not a stab at Fallout, but the first
For
season of
sure.
Arcane alone might be one of the best pieces of media I've ever fucking watched. So, even if
High
the second
praise.
season kind of faltered a little bit in some spots, it's still so gorgeous, and they still do such a great job with it that I'm giving it to Arcane.
For
Evan,
sure.
back around to you, buddy.
Yes. So my pick is going to be Fallout, but my prediction is going to be Arcane because I think Arcane has what you said, recency bias. I think that it has in the grand scheme of things, I think it has a wider audience.
Yeah.
I don't think Fallout is niche, but I think that Arcane slash League of Legends is a lot wider of a accept
Oh
or
yeah.
loved franchise or whatever you'd want to call it. However, my pick personally has to be Fallout because I fell
Yeah.
in love with this from the moment it came on.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
watched the first 10 minutes and I knew that I was in good hands.
Yeah.
I knew I was in good hands for a lot of other reasons, mostly because I love movies and TV and I pay attention to people who make those things. So Jonathan Nolan being involved in all of this made me feel right at home. Because if there's a Nolan brother attached to any project, I know it's probably going to be good.
Yeah.
Um, on top of that, a big thing that I think really sold this for me and why it is my personal pick as well was because of the attitude they had around making a video game adaptation for a different medium and
Yeah.
that they were all fans of this franchise. They have all played this franchise except for some of the actors
And just like
apparently.
the Halo showrunners.
Stop. You'll
Not
die right where you sit.
quite. um, that's what they should have done because this is how you make something. I mean, if you really, I mean, if anything, if I'm Paramount and I had that project, I'm looking at Fallout and I'm going, well, why did you guys not play the games? Why didn't you read the book? Like, why did you do no research? Because these guys didn't just do research, they played the games because they were fans of it. And fans of a game franchise made a great adaptation of it because what did they say, right? We're fans of it, but we're not making it for the fans. We're making it for us. We're making a
Yeah.
good story here because that's what's important. It's not about showing dog meat and showing, 5 of the 10 DLCs that they've had and making sure that everybody knows that those exist. It's not those things. It's making this world feel what the games feel like, which is random and insane at times
Yep.
Yeah.
and has some pretty surprising twists and turns and such. And I think it sold that quite well. I mean, and also the cast was pretty stellar. They did a great job.
Oh,
Like every single
absolutely.
person, top to bottom, did a fantastic job. Paul Atreides from 1984 did a great job.
Fantastic.
Shout out Nick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Uh,
He's great.
and yes, Walton Goggins.
Goggles.
Goggles.
uh, absolutely stole every scene he was in. It's much love to all the other characters, but every time he walked on screen, I think maybe it's probably because I just like him in other things that I've seen him in. He's been in a lot of stuff that I've watched. He is just an incredible force to watch on screen. So like that sold it for me. But my prediction is Arcane because it's Arcane. It's League of Legends. What do you
Yeah.
want from me?
What do you do with that? I
Predictions are what wins this thing.
That's
Yes.
right. Yeah. Nick, it
Yes, we
is back to you, my friend.
yes, we have best multiplayer. So in the best multiplayer category, we have Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Tekken 8, and Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2. We're going to kick it off to Brobus.
All right. This one is a bit tough for me. I think if Helldivers would have came out later in the year, I think it would have stood a chance. But unfortunately, it came out in the first half of the year, and a lot of people have already kind of forgotten about it because that is the way this shit goes. Um,
Yeah.
that being said, my vote, even though it has not fully resonated with me, is Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2. I do enjoy the game. It is a lot of fun. It's just not the game that's reaching out to me personally. That being said, it has gotten a lot of people into Warhammer that were never interested in it, and more eyes on that franchise, that media, than ever before. And I mean, it was kind of like this weird cultural touchstone for sure. But Tekken 8 doesn't have a fucking chance in hell. The community is quite mad at the devs right now. Super
Yeah.
Mario Party Jamboree isn't even a great Mario Party game, from my understanding. Uh, so that being said, my vote is Warhammer. My prediction is actually going to be Call of Duty Black Ops 6. And the only reason it is my prediction is one, it's fucking Call of Duty and they're a fucking powerhouse all of the time. And two, it's a good Call of Duty. I have actually enjoyed my time with it so far. A lot of people seem to be pretty high on it. Granted, give it 4 months and the community will absolutely turn on it and beg for the last Call of Duty back again, because that's
Oh
how
yeah.
this goes. It's cyclical, and we do this song and dance every fucking time. That being said, I think right now, again, um, I think Call of Duty has a pretty good shot of winning this, and they haven't really actually won this for a while. I think with this being the first time under the Microsoft umbrella, too, is a good thing. The fact that the first Call of Duty to be released under that umbrella is actually pretty solid, even though Microsoft probably had very little to do with it. Is a good sign, or a step in the right direction, I would say. Again, I'm not actually meaning anything, but it is more so that's going to be the perception around it.
It's the
But
optics, Ken.
yeah, similar to how you said Arcane is going to win the last category just because it's fucking Arcane. I kind of am leaning the same way for Call of Duty, but I would
Sure.
love to see Warhammer win, even though, again, it is not. It has not been hitting for me, unfortunately, but it is a fantastic game. This is just it's not my bag right now for sure. So,
Yeah.
Evan.
So, yeah, my pick is going to be 40K, Space Marine 2. Um, I don't play Super Mario and I don't play Tekken, so those are kind of out for me. Helldivers, I'm with Brody on that. Like, it came out pretty early in the year. It was kind of done with all of us in Spawn Camp probably by, like, I'd say April, except for a couple few that stuck with it.
Hmm.
April or May. Um, Space Marine 2 is probably the biggest thing that has gotten me into Warhammer 40K. I now have like 6 books of Warhammer and at least 25 minis. Um, so that has a huge moment for me. However, I think because of not that Birdie was arguing for it necessarily, but my prediction is probably also going to be Black Ops 6 now because obviously it's COD, it's a powerhouse. I knew that, but
Hmm.
I didn't even think about the fact that you had mentioned that it was a good COD because it is a good COD. I
It
actually
is.
really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. I've enjoyed playing it with you guys and playing zombies, and the campaign was fun. Um, so yeah, I would say my pick is Space Marine. Just love it so much. It's hit for me personally. I think this next patch is going to even seal that for me a bit more. But my prediction, just because of what it is yeah, Black Ops 6.
Nicolaj.
So my pick is obviously 40K.
Yeah,
For sure.
shocker.
I'm a huge 40K guy, and there was nothing quite um, more gratifying than ripping through Tyranids and Chaos with my friends. That's awesome.
Zinch.
Yes, yes, Thousand Suns. So that was a really cool moment. It was
Name
also
everyone.
cool. It's a lot. It was also really cool killing my friends in 40K or killing other teams with my friends in 40K. It was like that Gears of War style of gameplay in
Yeah.
40K that was just it's just a
Yes.
blast. It was a blast when Gears did it. It was a blast when Space Marine 1 did it, and it is even better now that Space Marine 2. Um, that being said, Helldivers 2 was such a huge cultural phenomena in video games when it released. It
Mhm.
was, but that was so long ago. And I
Yeah.
hate to do that because I love the team behind Helldivers 2. I
Yeah.
love that
Absolutely.
team, that CEO, and that entire group behind him. really want this to be one of the greatest games, and it is one of the greatest games, in my opinion. It's a fucking
Yeah.
phenomenal multiplayer experience that literally puts you in the shoes of these like Starship Troopers esque soldiers. It's phenomenal. Like the amount of role playing we've done, just joking around, phenomenal moments we've had. But you have the GTA 6 of multiplayer games here. Like it Call of Duty is a powerhouse because it's Call of Duty. In this category, I would love to see Warhammer smash it. I would love nothing more than to see 40K and my boy General Titus smash it. But it's not going to probably. So my vote's going to be for I almost said 40K instinctively. It's going to be for Black Ops 6.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough one, right?
Yeah.
Like COD is just so hard to compete with, and especially when it is a good COD. Like,
Yeah, it's
fucking good
harder to
luck,
beat
man.
even
Like,
then.
if it hits, it fucking hits, and
Yeah.
it's a force to be reckoned
Just
with.
hits.
And
Yep.
this one was, yeah, really good. I mean, this was the one they said this was the first like full development cycle they got, like
Yes.
Yes,
4 years. So
and it
that
shows,
adds to it.
honestly.
Yeah, yeah, it does. It ran pretty good out of the box and it's fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
in every game mode.
Hey boys, do me a solid. Keep it rolling. I gotta get more water.
Uh, he's got to pee. Uh,
He's gonna pay. The
next
way,
up, we have best sports/racing game.
you know,
For the best traditional and non-traditional sports and racing game, I would like to start this one out by saying this category is dog shit.
you're
The
right.
category itself is not dog shit. The games nominated for this are dog shit because none of them are particularly well liked or all that different than anything that has come before. So we have F1 24, which, from my understanding, I have not played it, but I have heard that it is not a great F1 game in the grand scheme of it. I've heard 23 was better. EA Sports FC 25, NBA 2K 25, Top Spin, a fucking tennis game, Top Spin 2K 25, and WWE 2K 24. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. This is a tough one. I would have loved to see some other games here. Like, I'm surprised that college football was not in this list. As much hype as there
Yeah.
was around college football, and honestly, it was well received when it came out. And I think it easily could have won this category. I don't understand why it's not here.
To point out, there's not college football or Madden in this
Well,
category.
eh,
Well, I
and
liked
I'm
Madden.
okay
I did
with
not.
Madden, right? But like,
You're okay with that not being in here? So that is
but
my only
college
football game with
football,
this
like
experience. I have
college
not played
football
it
has
yet. I
not
want
been
to.
around for forever in the gaming sphere. Like, it has been a
When
very,
was the
very
last
long
one?
time. I want to
Like
say
2014?
14, I think. So it's been
Okay.
like last
Was it because of that
NCAA.
issue with the athletes being paid or something like that? Was that part of why they weren't making games? I know
That
that
is
that
a
was
big
part
part
of
of it. Yes.
that was it? Okay. All right.
So yeah, it was a lot of getting like college player likenesses into the game, and
And they argued
basically
they needed
figuring
to
out
be.
how they get paid for their likeness being in the game and all of that.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
they
Okay.
finally did figure it out. So yeah, the last one was NCAA football 14.
Wow.
Um,
Okay.
so it has been 10 years since we've had a college football game, and for it to not be on this list is kind of criminal, I think, personally.
Can I add to that? For it to not be on PC is criminal, in my opinion.
Also that. Yeah,
Like,
EA is fucking yeah.
well, like Madden is on PC. Why is this not on PC? What the hell, man? Like,
Right.
are you serious? Like, because truthfully, I've liked Madden 25 personally.
Mhm.
I want to play college football because I've heard that that is a lot of fun, and I agree with you. I'm really disappointed in this entire list. Like,
It's not great. It is not great at all. That being said, I'll go ahead and rattle mine off real quick. My pick is gonna be FC 25, I guess, just because soccer is such a sorry, football is such a huge thing around the world, that I think it probably has some legs to stand on. That being said, a lot of the people voting on this are not from around the world. Most of them are US based for the most part.
sure.
So there's not quite the attachment to FC 25, but at the same time, like, This list just kind of sucks. I'd love to actually see F1 win, but at the same time, hearing that F1 24 is not as good as the last one is concerning, and I don't love that aspect of it. Tennis will never, ever fucking win this category ever. Um, and WWE 2K24, I think it's a decent WE or WWE game, but it again, that's not saying a whole lot from where those games have been in the last
Right.
fucking 8 years.
Right.
And then I fucking hate basketball. I'm just gonna be real honest. I fucking
Boring.
hate basketball. It's a bullshit sport. Anywho, so both my pick and prediction are FC 25. Evan, what you got, buddy?
So this is tough. So can I ask real quick to not I don't want to take up too much time, but I want to ask you, what have you heard that was bad about F124? Because I have not played it
Oh,
as
look
much as
what
I
you've
did
done.
23. I
Oh
have
no,
not played
I
it as
opened the
oh no.
can
No, no,
and
no.
there's
I'm not
worms inside
disagreeing.
the can.
No, no, there's not worms. I genuinely have played 23 probably more than I've played 24, but I've only played 24 through like the careers. So I haven't experienced a lot of the other stuff that's
Gotcha.
available. I've personally liked it because they kept the physics model, it felt like. Although I
Yeah,
did see a lot of clips of people being able to completely abuse it and like drift around the track because they weren't losing like tire wear, even though in like real life and how it should perform in those games, if you drift you basically cook those things.
yeah.
So I've seen that, so I understand that people had a problem with that. I personally just have not had that bad of an experience with it, but I agree that
Honestly,
23 is probably the best
I
for
honestly
sure.
haven't gone down that rabbit hole because it's just not my
Okay.
kind of game. Like if I'm gonna play a
Sure.
racing game, I tend to play like Need for Speed type shit, just because
You
I
play
like the
Forza
arc.
too. I
Yeah,
know.
Burnout.
and
We've played that. We
Forza
played that before.
Horizon, like
Yeah,
yeah, like that's my kind of game, more of the
for sure.
arcadey esque type thing. I don't care
Yeah.
much for the simulation aspect of it. That being said, I haven't seen anything too specific. I just kind of
Okay.
saw some grumblings, especially when this
Sure.
category was announced. It was like, why the fuck is that on there? Like there was just
Okay.
some people within that community that weren't
Sure.
very happy about it for whatever reason. Again, I haven't gone
Okay.
down that rabbit hole. I'm just going off of the
That's
comments
totally
that I
fine.
saw.
I,
So
I was just curious if you had anything specific, but my pick and my prediction are both going to be F124
yeah, fair
because
enough.
I did love it. Like truthfully, I think it's been if you if you're like me and you want to have a game to race in and you like F1 and you don't want to deal with other people, because to be honest, a big issue that I found in F1 games just over time is that EA does not do any sort of actual work when it comes to rooting out bad players. So you get a lot of people that just they do early starts, or they just, the lights go red, the first light goes red and they immediately take off. They don't care that they have a 5-second penalty, right? They're just going to keep going. You
Yeah,
just have a lot of bad people that do shit like that.
that's most
and
racing games. I
and that,
mean,
and
to be
that is most
perfectly
racing games.
honest, like people drive
Absolutely.
dirty and ruin the experience for other people. Like it's just
It
it's tough
it's
to play
part of
those
it.
games online.
Yeah, it's part of it, and I think that F1 fits into like I heard this category before, or like this sort of genre type before, but it was like simcade, where it kind of does a mix of both. And
Yeah,
I think it has that aspect of like, you do have to worry about your temps in some aspect, you have to worry about your wear in some aspect depending on your difficulty, but for the most part you can play it like an arcade game.
yeah,
You can turn off collisions, you can turn off damage, and you can just drive around and hit the barriers and play it like a go-kart. But that's why I'm voting for it. It's the only game actually I've played on this list.
fair enough.
I have not
I
played
haven't
FC
played a
25
single
yet.
one of them. I take that back. I played 10 minutes of F1 24 on a racing sim at Jeff's house. So I
Oh,
have
really?
technically played a little bit of it, but that's about it.
Oh, I didn't know he had a racing sim. That's actually
Yeah.
that's kind of sick. Yeah, he should race with me sometime.
Kick his ass.
Nikolai.
I'm pointing my to my.
Good. Kick his ass. FC 25, FC 25. This is a dog shit list.
It
Sure, it
sucks
is a
real
dog
bad.
shit
So
list
I'm
for
just
sure.
gonna cap it off. I'm not gonna say much about this because it's just a dog shit list. FC 25 all the way.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. We are back around to Evan for the next
Yes.
category here.
Yes, which is best sim or strategy game. Best game focused on real time or turn based simulation or strategy gameplay, irrespective of platform. We have
Oh yeah.
Age of Mythology Retold, Frostpunk 2, Kunitsugami Path of the Goddess, Manor Lords, and Unicorn Overlord. Nick. What is your pick? What is your prediction? Can I guess you have played none of these games?
I've played none of these games, but I have
He's never
watched.
even looked at any of these games.
He's never.
Not true. Not true. Not true. Not true. Not true. I have watched both Frostpunk 2 and I've watched Manor
Mhm.
Lords. Manor Lords is one of those
Yeah.
like viral games you've seen on
It,
TikTok and all that.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, oh
Okay.
yeah, oh yeah.
I haven't
oh
played it
yeah,
yet.
You'll
yeah. It was
I have
it
not
was
played it yet.
everywhere.
you'll have to look at Manor Lords. You would like Manor Lords. My
Okay.
pick,
It's on Game Pass.
my pick, is gonna be Manor Lords. My prediction, Frostpunk 2.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, this
Brody?
isn't a category I'm familiar
Yep.
with a whole lot. So short, sweet to the point for me, baby.
For sure.
So this one is tough. Unfortunately, I have not actually spent any time in any of these games. I have Frostpunk downloaded, and I also have Kinitsugami downloaded as well. Um, from and honestly, I guess I played a touch of the demo for Unicorn Overlord because that is 100% my kind of shit for sure. Uh, but it's trapped on the Switch, and that is what ruins it for me, unfortunately. That being said, my pick is Kinitsigami. It did not sell well, but it has been received quite well, and it is like a tower defense type game that has like other elements to it that make it quite interesting. I really do want to actually get around to playing it. I just have not gotten around to it for whatever reason. And same for Frostpunk, honestly. But I fucking brain is not firing on all cylinders, and that is a game that definitely requires it. So
Yeah, it does.
my pick is actually going to be Kinitsugami, and my prediction is going to be Manor Lords due to the viral nature of that game and
Very
the
good.
way it really just took off in ways that nobody really would have thought. So,
Cool.
For sure. My vote is going to be Frostpunk 2, mostly due to the fact that it is the only game I've played out of these. Even though Frostpunk 2 was played for, if I had to guess on my Game Pass or my Xbox app, it's probably like 12 minutes. Um, but I like the idea of it, which is
yeah,
why I'm voting for it. I just think that's cool. It gives me Snowpiercer vibes, obviously,
Yeah.
with this,
absolutely. Yep.
just that, yeah, that whole thing. So that's really cool. And it has that aspect of city building, which is kind of like a. I've never been a Sim City type of guy. I've always been more Civ or Stellar, like wider spanning things
Yeah.
than that. Not as micro, more macro, I guess. But my prediction realistically is going to be Manor Lords, because if I'm going off of you guys and it kind of went viral, I'm assuming that would be a pretty, like, I don't know the other three games very well, so I'm gonna go off of that as my prediction. But yeah,
Yeah.
my vote's Frostpunk. I like that sort of vibe
Oh
though.
yeah.
I like that dystopian feel that it has. I wish more games did that for sim or strategy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how
Ne-
fitting. I got
You
best
there.
family.
See, you bitched about content creator of the year, but you got best family. Look
Now
at
for
you.
now for this, I'm gonna name off all the games,
Mhm.
Okay.
and then I'm gonna count down to 3. And after 1, we're all gonna say our prediction and our pick and then prediction. We're just gonna
Okay.
say
To,
Yeah, let's do that.
to
This will
be
go well.
fair, only you and I have played
I
this
think
game
I know
before.
where he's going with it too. So I'm gonna
Okay.
Can I
list.
be honest? I've played none of these,
Yeah.
Okay,
as you both know.
here's the games, and then I'm gonna count down. We have Astrobot, Princess Peach Showtime. Brody's already typing. Super Mario Party Jamboree, Legends of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, The Plucky Squire. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and go.
Astro Bot.
Astrobot.
Astrobot.
Okay, cool.
Uh, eh, so I do want to say something about this category.
Yes,
So
yes, please.
Okay.
typically this is, and I said it on our announcement episode, but typically this category is known as the Nintendo category, right? And
Yep.
obviously they have three of the games here. The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom is fantastic, but it does not win this category.
No.
It is just not. It is not the game that would win a family game. When I think of a family game, I think of a game you can actually sit down and play with children and enjoy with children. That's not Echoes of Wisdom.
No,
It
not
just
at all.
isn't. Even with the Zelda moniker on it, like it's not what that is going to be. Astrobot, hands down, fucking should take this category, and if it doesn't, I will riot. I will fly out to the fucking Game Awards and riot.
I
I
was
just want to talk.
yeah. I
I
was
just want
playing
to talk.
Astrobot with
I
Landon.
don't want to talk. I want to fight.
Oh, we're fighting. WASD is showing up, and that's how we're gonna
Dude,
get
fight.
viral. We're just gonna fight everybody. But
What'd
I
you vote for?
better have been Astrobot. Don't even tell me when you hear that song, it doesn't get stuck in your head.
Yeah, this is Astrobot with a fucking bullet.
Has
Like
to be.
100%.
Has to be. It's an
Yeah.
incredible game. The platforming is fun. Finding all the other Astrobots are fun. Rebuilding the PS5 is fun. The worlds are fun. The levels are great. It looks beautiful. It sounds beautiful. That song gets stuck in your head. The I am Astrobot. It just you can't go into a GameStop right now without that playing. Like it is, which I'm sure they want to kill themselves because of how much
Oh,
they
I'm
hear that
sure.
song.
Oh
Oh my
yeah,
god.
dude.
That
Like
has to
That's
be
gotta
terrible.
suck.
while you're playing the game though, it's phenomenal.
Yes.
It's an incredible experience. I love watching my son play that game. He was playing it earlier. He got all 5 bots in a level, or the 5 levels he played. He got all 5 bots in all 3
Oh yeah.
puzzle pieces per
Nice.
level. He's 4 years old.
Yeah.
Amazing. It's a game any age could pick. I mean, 4 and up
Yes.
can pick up.
Yep.
So like
Yeah.
amazing, fun time. Astrobot wins this. Sorry,
Hell yeah.
I'm not
For
sorry.
sure.
Cool.
Cool. Anything you want to add there, Evan? I know you haven't
No.
touched a single one of these, let alone
No,
even
yeah.
looked at them really.
Play Astrobot,
But
No,
Evan.
you've heard us
the
go
old,
on about Astrobot.
yeah, the only one I've really heard you guys go on about is Astrobot, and
Yeah.
that's the only one out of all these I'd actually be interested in, and I'm sure I'll touch it eventually when I have like my own home and then in a PS5 or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like that to play it with. But right now we don't have that option.
yeah.
PS5
I
literally
can't
right
play
next
the.
to his foot.
There's
Yeah,
actually
right.
that out of
It's
shot.
it's
Get that out of,
it's right there.
He said, "Get
It's
that
right
out of the shot."
behind
get
you.
that out of the shot. Edit that out and post. Blur that out.
I don't
That
work that
sounds like
hard.
too much work.
That's don't do that.
Best fighting game for the best game designed primarily around head-to-head combat. So we have Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics, Multiverses, which is bullshit, and Tekken 8. Multiverses is on here for the second time because the first time was a beta. Fuck them.
Oh, what?
Is this
That's
one
Warner
weird.
Brothers
easy?
can suck my dick. Yeah,
Yeah, fuck them.
I'll go ahead and rattle mine off. Dragon Ball for both my pick and my prediction.
You ready for mine?
You good?
Give me
Let me
Dragon Ball
guess.
Sparking
Dragon Ball?
Zero.
Fuck yeah, dog.
Both across the board.
Both
All
with
right.
an L,
I'm gonna be
Oh,
an
funny.
L, and
that
an
was
F.
that's such a Michigan way to say both. Both.
Both.
Damn it.
Both.
We do say shit weird in Michigan.
Yeah,
We
we
do.
do.
Yes, we do. Um,
I'm right
my
there with you,
pick.
dog.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Midwest, baby.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. My pick is Marvel versus Capcom because I know Marvel
Yeah.
and
I had
my
to
little
be
brain
different.
understands that. My little brain understands that. However, my prediction is Dragon Ball because you both said Dragon Ball, and I know that John
Follower.
and Morgan both like Dragon Ball. So
Uh, Marvel vs. Capcom is cool just because it is like a re-release of a bunch of old
Yeah.
fighting games. So it is super neat. Don't get me
I
wrong.
do
And
remember
they
playing
did
an
next.
old Marvel Capcom game, so
Yeah,
I have a little bit, but yeah.
I do believe they added oh fuck, what do they call that? Roll something for fighting. I fucking damn it, it's gone. Anywho, they
I don't
did
know.
add some like enhancements to the Marvel Capcom games. But
Oh,
I
okay.
do want to play this. I'm just so god awful at fighting games that I have a hard time
Sure.
doing it. Like Tekken is the closest I have been to halfway decent at a fighting game, and,
Okay.
and that's because Smash is. I'm fucking pretty good at Smash actually, but Tekken is like the closest to more of a traditionalist type of game, and even that is not a traditional fighting game. So
Brody told me to load it in
Over here,
Tekken so he
Smash.
could
I have to
gape my
close my mouth.
asshole.
did I?
Yeah, you were drunk. You're like, hop into Tekken so I can gape that ass, bitch. I went,
Yeah,
holy.
that
Huh.
sounds like
I mean,
that sounds
it
like
happens.
a drunk Brody quote, but like also deserved.
See,
Well, I
I
was
I get
cocky that
aggressive,
night.
but in a loving way.
Yes.
Typically,
Brody's like, I wish
like
you wouldn't have
Yeah,
said that
it
on the show,
was
Nick.
Why'd you say that out loud?
Oh shit.
All
But
right, next one.
I'm a
yeah, I think that
liability.
yeah,
You
it's all
are.
you, Evan.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. Anybody have anything to say on those last ones?
Nah, not
We
really.
all good?
That's a
Yeah.
Sure.
Dragon Ball. Dragon
yeah.
Ball is a force to be
Dragon
reckoned with,
Ball. Yeah.
especially in the year that Toriyama died. Like Dragon Ball
Yes,
is
that's
fucking
true.
with this
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Rest in peace,
Hmm.
King.
Rest in peace. Best RPG for the best game designed with rich player character customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences. We have Dragon's Dogma 2, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, and Metaphor Refantasio. I would like to add something real quick. I've only played 2 out of these 5 games. I'm sorry, I lied. I've only played 1 out of these 5 games. I own 2. I have never loaded up Dragon's Dogma 2.
But they got your money, bitch.
but they got my
You
money
bought
and
the
I
bitch and
cannot
didn't even play it.
I literally I got it because I absolutely do want to play it, but I have just not. I don't know why I found everything else to get involved with before
Yeah.
getting involved with that
Yeah.
game.
It
So
came out at a busy fucking time.
yeah, it
It,
was pretty busy to be
Also,
honest. And
wasn't
on
well
top of the fact that
received when it came out.
it
it
was
was not.
poorly
I heard there was
optimized for
I
sure.
heard that there was a lot of optimization issues. So it was sort of like I got it through Green Man Gaming, sponsored the show, and
I wish.
then
Please,
I
please.
I hope I would absolutely but
I
yeah
would
so
shit Nick's pants.
yeah, that's
Why? I'm
exactly yeah.
wearing booty shorts right now.
That's a quote, man. I'm
As the
putting that
stream
on my
saw, I'm
wall.
wearing booty shorts.
Yeah.
Nick, what is your pick in prediction?
You serious?
Yeah, you
Elden
first,
Ring.
dog.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm first. Well, pick in prediction is Elden Ring Shadow of the
Okay.
It's Elden
Erdtree.
Ring.
Sorry.
I know Final Fantasy with that fan base is there, right? I understand that. Like a Dragon's fan base as well. That is totally there. They have Metaphor, and even all of their fan bases are fucking rabid fan bases. They really, really are. Dragon's Dogma came out and it was poorly optimized. Final Fantasy is Final Fantasy. It's powerhouse in and of itself. Like a Dragon, it's just a very niche title to me.
Yeah.
Metaphor.
It's gaining popularity, but it's
Oh,
just not
yeah.
quite there yet.
It's gaining huge steam now,
Yeah.
and well, it's been. I shouldn't say right now. Those games have
Oh.
been like
I would say since Like a Dragon.
yes,
Yeah.
That series has been gaining serious traction, and on top of that, they release at least one new game a year, and have been like releasing 2 to 3 games a year, which
well,
is
and they're all good.
insane. And they're all fucking great. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's insane the production they get out. And
Oh yeah.
Metaphor is Metaphor, right? Like, I don't know anything about the Metaphor series or SS or SDD or whatever,
hmm
right?
Shin Megami Tensei or Persona.
Oh
I don't know
Yes.
about those games, but I do know about Shadow of the Erd Tree, and I do know about Elden Ring. And this is the category it belongs in, Jeff Keighley, and it's the only one it should be in because Warhammer 40K should be up there. But anyways, that's my pick and prediction.
I'm gonna be the contrarian here.
okay.
Fucking Metaphor with a fucking bullet.
Brody's
Metaphor
so hyped.
absolutely deserves this fucking award because it's not gonna win Game of the Year, even though I would love for it to. It's not gonna happen. Metaphor deserves to win Best RPG, 100%. That's my pick and my prediction.
Cool.
Nice.
So you
Yeah.
guys are both Elden Ring for both, and I'm Metaphor for both.
It's yeah, it's the only one that I actually played out of any of these, obviously. And this was actually, I mean, this to add a little onto my part on this with Elden Ring, I had just finished the game, so like
And you
Yeah,
were really good
you
at them
guys were
too. Do you remember that, Brody?
yeah,
you
it's
guys were pissed
bullshit.
about that. You guys were kind of pissed about that. Although I don't
I
think
beat
I'm that good
Radon
at them.
before the patch. Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you, bro.
That's true. You guys all said that, so I totally remember that one for sure.
It was still
However,
cool to watch you beat Radon in 2
It
tries.
listen,
was. It was cool.
you thought it. I beat him in the first
First
try,
try, first
but
try. I thought it was sick.
you guys thought it was cool. I was on a whole other plane of cool because I was listening to Freebird while hammered when
He
I did
walked away
that.
from his
So like,
computer. His camera was on, and he went. Like I just
Yeah.
watched you tense up, dude. You were like shaking. I was like, "Holy fuck,
Uh,
dude! That's
so
sweet."
dude, Elden Ring gets me, man. It's the first Souls game I actually have finished. You know, so that's part why it's mine because
I
I played through Shadow of the Erdtree right as it happened.
I have not played the DLC at all. to be perfectly honest,
Really?
which is a
Okay.
shame because I loved the base game.
Yeah.
The DLC came at a time where everything was very busy and there was a
Yeah.
lot of things going on as well. So I
Mhm.
prioritized other things.
Sure.
Um, so I listen, I fucking adore Elden Ring. It is certainly up there on one of my top games of all time. Like I don't know
Yeah.
where exactly it falls. I would have to sit down and reflect on that answer. That being said, it is so fucking good, and I really, honestly, if I'm being realistic here, it's probably going to win this category. That being said, I am like gung ho on Metaphor because I adore what Metaphor is doing, and it is taking a franchise that I do adore, like Persona and Shin Megami Tensei, and taking it to a whole new level and doing it so
Yeah.
much better. So I guess my prediction is still kind of hopeful, but if anywhere that if there is a category that Metaphor is going to win, this is the one it should win. But also at the same time, like Elden Ring is just a force to be reckoned with, and it is going to be very hard to beat it. And I would not be surprised to see Elden Ring win this category. So, and rightfully so, because it
Yeah.
is so good. Um, but yes,
Cool.
I believe we are
Nice.
back around to Nick.
What's up, babies? So we are on to best action adventure, and in this category, we got Astrobot, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, Silent Hill 2, Star Wars Outlaws, and The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. I'm gonna throw it to myself here, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick Astrobot. But
Oh
For
yeah.
your pick, yes.
my pick, I think Prince of Persia takes it. I've heard nothing but
Oh,
amazing things about this game. I've heard nothing but love from everybody who's played it. I've seen great things. It's cool to see Prince of Persia back in the limelight. And then,
yes.
after this was talked about and stuff, Sands of Time remaster and remake
Yeah.
is being worked on. And I can remember the first time I played Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time on my Xbox, my OG big Xbox with the Duke, and I was just sitting there like, you can do this, like, and this is like after I'd played other fucking giant games, right? But my
Yeah.
my want my pick is Astrobot. My prediction is Prince of Persia.
Sure.
So my problem with Astrobot in this category is the action adventure game.
Yeah,
Um, it is not a heavy action game. Like you
Okay.
literally
fighting.
singular button fucking combat.
Oh, okay.
That's my issue. I adore Astrobot and I want it to win as many things as it can, but I don't necessarily believe that it belongs in this category. That being said, Prince of Persia, I've played maybe 10 to 15 minutes. I just picked it up on the autumn sale.
Oh, dope.
I am playing it on Steam Deck. It runs so great.
Oh, that's
It
probably
is
such a good game to play on the deck.
Oh, it's a
Oh yeah.
perfect game for the deck.
I'm sure.
Even though it says like the like unsupported or not unsupported, but like it gives
It's
you the
orange,
yellow.
yeah.
Yeah. It you just have to sign into Ubisoft and it runs fine. It's a
Gotcha.
non-issue for sure. Um, that being said, so my pick is actually going to be Prince of Persia
Okay.
solely because I wish that this game got more flowers than what it has. Like everybody has reviewed it very highly, but it did not sell well. Ubisoft even came out and was like, "Yeah, it kind of failed," and it's like it's a fucking fantastic game. It's one of the best Metroidvanias that we've gotten in fucking decades at this point. And what it does so well. There's accessibility options that allow you to follow the map rather than actually have to find your way back and remember things. So it makes a Metroidvania approachable in a way that most games do not. That being said, Nintendo is going to win a category here, and I think that The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom is going to take this. In that same vein, it's a fucking good game. Like I don't think that like I said, I would love to see Prince of Persia win it, but also I wouldn't be mad to see The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom take it because it is fun.
Hmm.
It is a very good game. It is unique. It does things that no other game has really done before, and it takes the Zelda kind of formula, I guess, and flips it on its head in a
Yeah.
way that hasn't been done before. You get to play Zelda for the first time, like outside of the like fucking
Chica and
Musou
all that.
games, but yeah.
Yeah.
But like, there's some side shoots where you play as Zelda, but like this is
Cheek.
it is very, very good, and I'm not gonna be mad to see it win, but I would love to see Prince of Persia win solely for the sake of seeing Ubisoft do more with this formula.
Yes.
Do this again,
Like their
create more.
chance.
Yes, like take this game, put it in the limelight, give it fucking roses, and do more of this because it was so good.
More
You
Prince of
suck at
Persia.
open world games for the most part. Create Metroidvanias, I guess. I don't know.
Or just more
Like,
Prince of Persia. That
yes.
franchise is
And
so abused for no reason.
yeah, it has been drugged through the mud and just absolutely shit on a regular basis. Like, give it love and let
Jake
it do its
Gyllenhaal.
fucking thing.
It's
Yeah.
it's just another long list of franchises that Ubisoft has that does nothing with,
Yep.
Yeah.
like Splinter Cell, or
God
Rainbow
damn.
Six.
Yeah.
Sorry, had to ruin your spirits.
Oh,
Hey,
Splinter
they
Cell
have
Black.
Rainbow Six fucking like
Oh,
they make
Siege.
so much money off of that shit,
You,
dude.
you you mean the game that is completely unrecognizable now?
Oh yeah, it's
I
not
mean,
even
yeah,
the same
playing it
game by a long shot.
from 4 years ago when we were kind of consistently playing it, yeah, it's completely different.
When we were competitive with
Oh,
it, yeah.
Yeah, we
yeah,
were
fuck
actually kind
that.
of playing that consistently.
I want Vegas 2 back. I want a remaster of Vegas
Yes,
1 and Vegas
Yes.
2. They
Yes.
were so
yes.
fucking good.
Oh my God, Vegas 2 was amazing to play. Oh, I love that. Doing Terrorist Hunt with my dad was awesome.
Oh yeah.
It's
Like
so much
just
fun. It's a
yeah,
blast.
just getting to do that. It was incredible. My
What you got
honestly
there, Evan?
quick for this, because I've actually played 2 of these games for probably a
Silent Hill and
collective
Star
total of an
Wars?
Look at
hour.
you.
Yep, collective total. Well, hold on, collective total of an hour. Um, Star Wars Outlaws is
20
probably
and 80.
you really you're the
Yeah. So
so
sorry,
it's
20 and 40. Yeah, I
no,
was doing
it's
percentages,
opposite.
but yeah.
It's opposite. It's probably more like Star Wars Outlaws was 50 minutes and Silent Hill 2 was 10 minutes.
Okay.
Like
Yeah, fair.
Silent Hill 2 got a little too scary too quick. Um my heart kind of made
Oh,
some feelings it
for
shouldn't
50
make.
seconds, it was really real.
It's pretty much how that felt. Um However, my pick for this is Astrobot. My prediction is Legend of Zelda. It's not the 2 games I played because I did not play enough of Silent Hill to give it an actual pick or prediction, although I'm sure it's great. However,
Yeah.
Star Wars Outlaws I did play 50 minutes of and I was not impressed.
What
I
a
was pretty
broken piece of
disappointed.
shit game.
I was
Sorry.
disappointed with the
Ubisoft special,
performance.
baby.
So well, it is right, but like, so Noah in our Discord actually turned me on to this. Which listeners, you should join that Discord so you can hear him talk about other things like this too.
Atta
Others,
boy.
It's our
This
boy
well,
Noah,
fucking guy.
graphic
we're
artist
doing good.
and good friend of
Graphic
ours.
design,
I'm gonna call you Plug
yes.
Boy Evan.
That we'll talk about that later.
We don't like that. We're gonna have to talk about you and branding don't mix.
Oh, what?
So
What boy?
what I did like about Star Wars Outlaws was the visuals. I thought the graphical quality was actually kind of good when it ran well. What was actually particularly interesting to me about that was they used the same like flora and fauna tech they used for the Avatar game that came out last year in that. And I think that tech is incredible. Um However, whatever the devs did with Star Wars Outlaws did not translate because Avatar is for my system pretty good. It runs quite well with all that vegetation and a lot of that. Like there is a density to Avatar that is kind of unbelievable
Yeah.
in a lot of respects. But Star Wars Outlaws had that sort of density or that visual quality, but it just could not run it the same way. And it was just the AI was dumb. It wasn't that exciting, and it kind of fell flat for me. Silent Hill 2, like I said, too scary. Prince of Persia, have not played it, but would love to. I
Idiot.
played it as a kid with my dad, with my cousin. When he still lived with his parents, I used to play it on his Xbox 360, like whatever
Hell
Prince
yeah.
of Persia was
Fuck
out
yeah.
then. So I would love to actually dive into that, but I just never was able to. However, with Brody giving that strong opinion about the Legend of Zelda stuff and Nintendo winning a category, I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
Like it will win something. I believe it will be this. So my prediction is yeah, Zelda.
Cool.
Hell yeah. All right. We're back around to me, I believe.
Yes,
So,
sir.
best
Yes.
action game. For the best game in the action genre, focused primarily on combat. We have Black Myth Wukong, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade, and Warhammer 40K Space Marine. Space Marine.
Yes.
Uh God damn it. Giant Bomb has me doing that shit because fucking Jan from Giant Bomb does that all the time whenever he talks about Space Marine.
Get off my
Space
ship,
Marine.
Spice Marine.
All right, I will go ahead and go first on this. I am scared of Black Myth Wukong because Jesus Christ, like that game has done numbers over in
Yes.
China for sure. That being said, my pick is Stellar Blade. And I understand that everybody looks at that game and says it's a horny fucking game. Don't get me wrong, it is pretty horny.
Yes.
That being, but also in the same vein, it is actually very good. The
Okay.
combat is a lot of fun. I enjoy the world that they've created. The story is kind of meh, but as far as an action game goes, it is a good mix of like a Dark Souls type combat with like more of a generic action combat, and it kind of rides that line very well. Um, so my pick is Stellar Blade. My prediction, I think this is where Warhammer is going to get its flowers. I think
For sure.
this is where it is finally going to get some recognition. That is very well deserved. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think it's going to take it in the multiplayer game section. Um, but yeah, fuck, man. Like I wish people didn't have the negative like idea of what Stellar Blade is because it is actually quite a bit of fun and I really have been enjoying it. But yeah, I mean, they don't do themselves any favors by creating the sexy
They don't
outfits
hide
that
it.
they do. Yeah, no,
Photo
no, no.
Like
mode.
I mean, listen,
they don't hide
this
what they're
is
going for.
this is a company that has made a shitload of money off of a mobile game called Nike Goddess of War, I believe, or whatever the fuck it is, which is all about like very scantily clad characters.
Yeah. And characters.
All women, of course. Like they,
Oh yeah.
they know what the fuck they're doing for sure.
Well, and they
And
admitted to that with Stellar Blade too, I think, right? They basically just said, "Yeah, we know why we're making her look this way. She's modeled after a real person, if I'm not mistaken."
yeah, she was
Yeah.
a South
S-
Korean model, I believe. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, they and at the end of the day, like
Yeah.
sex sells. Let's be entirely honest. That has never
100%.
changed and it never will
Never
change.
will.
Sex will
Yep.
always sell. And for them to lean into that, I think it was a good idea on their part. But at the same time, it has also kind of given it this weird connotation like, hey, this is just the sexy game. And it is a lot more than that. And I do really,
Yeah.
really enjoy this game. But it is. Yeah, I doubt it's going to win this, unfortunately. I do think this is where Warhammer is going to take it, and honestly, I'm okay with that. Like, this entire list here for best action game is quite good. I feel like Call of Duty is maybe a touch out of place here, because it is more about the multiplayer aspect and things. Like, it is an action game, but I feel like Warhammer, Helldivers, Stellar Blade, and Black Myth Wukong are kind of their own things for sure. Whereas Call of Duty, it's like, yeah, it's an action game, but also it's the same thing we've seen for decades.
Right.
Um, so, but yeah, Stellar Blade, Warhammer.
Cool.
For sure.
Evan,
Oh,
Evan.
me? Yes. My pick and my prediction are both going to be Space Marine 2. Um,
Ice Marine.
yeah, I loved it. Like I said before, it is partially why I sort of I've always had a little like external relationship with Warhammer because of Nick, where he's sort of mentioned it or it's been brought up. This year has been a little bit more of a talkative year about Warhammer for everybody because
Oh,
he
for sure.
got Logan and everybody, everybody's into painting the minis now and building the minis. And on top of that, Space Marine 2 has come out. So there's just been a lot of stuff going on there. So Space Marine 2 is going to just for me, it swipes away at all these other ones. I've played Black Ops 6. I've played Helldivers 2. Helldivers was great as an action game. I think it's a lot of fun, but it just kind of lost a lot of touch for me. It particularly started to run bad at one point, so I just sort of dropped off after that. Black Ops 6, like Brody said, is kind of out of place here. It's a great action game. I love the campaign, but like most of what people are here for Black Ops is the multiplayer, the zombies. I did not play Black Myth Wukong because I heard that there was a lot of very large insects in it, and that's a no-no for me. Because I'm a giant pussy. Stellar Blade, I have not played yet because I am not moved out of my parents' house. That's all I'm going to move on with that. Um, just going for jokes here at this point. So, but yeah, for me, Space Marine 2 is my pick and prediction just because of the sheer fact of like it has been a powerhouse in both our conversations in the Discord, just talking about Warhammer in general and just lore and factions and chapters of Space Marines and just all sorts of different things going on there. But because it has consistently, I think, after its release, remained good. It's a fun multiplayer experience to play. It is a great story. Although I do think it's a little too short in my opinion, but hey, you can only do what you can do. But they make up for that with giving the operations a lot of love and giving we're going to be getting another operation apparently in the next week or so. They said early December for the next patch, which is going to bring an entire chapter pack of cosmetics and all this other crazy stuff. So like that's partially why I'm still a part of it because or like why it wins for me because there's all this rich lore that they are so excited to add. All these, successor chapters, all these weapons, enemies, whatever, there's a lot to dig in there. And I think that's why it wins this for me because there is a very deep history involved here. And also, out of every single one of these games, I'm sorry, it's the perfect male fantasy. I'm a 7 to 8 foot tall space marine who gets to crush like xenomorph looking enemies with a fucking chainsword and a gun. Are you serious? How is this a competition? Like,
Fair enough. But how would you
but
like to be like a 5'10" woman that gets to also crush xenomorph looking enemies
well, now I'm in a predicament.
in
There we
high
go.
heels?
Oh well, no, okay, all right. This is
I'm
official.
just
I'm done
saying,
with
I'm
this.
just saying,
I'm done with this. Nick, what's your pick?
First and foremost, we got to add more sexy dong into games because we can't let these ladies just run everything when it comes to
Yeah,
You're right.
sexy.
Warhammer dick should be out. What?
Exactly.
Well, they're Space Marines. Let's not do that tonight. So you don't want you don't get me going. Um, all jokes aside, this is a very good category. This is a very well put
It is.
together category. Even called, in my
It's
opinion, Call of Duty is a little bit out of
yeah.
out of place, but that
Sure.
single player experience has always been known as the blockbuster experience in video games. So
Yep.
for it to be here, I understand. But Black Myth Wukong, great in China, in America too, it's doing great. Um, people realizing that's who Goku is like based off of is really awesome. Then they
Yeah.
dive
Yeah.
deeper, and then you get for the World Cup, it's like China versus Japan. They made a poster or some tournament. It was like China Japan, and it's like Goku against Wukong. Totally awesome to see that, right? Call of
Yeah.
Duty Black Ops 6 again, a big game. It's a good Call of Duty. Helldivers 2 when that came out, it was a monumental shift in the industry that we needed. A
Yeah.
smaller team backed by Sony released this game, and people went, "Holy fuck!" Everyone, it was a viral sensation. It was loved. It ran well. Great game. Stellar Blade again, a game everyone who's played it goes, "No, this is great." Barring the horniness of the game, it's great. Um, and then
Maybe
you
that
got
makes it
Warhammer
better. It's
40k.
an enhancement.
Yeah. And then you got Warhammer 40k, which is the most power violent male anybody fan, not just male fantasy. It's not just a male fantasy, it's just a power violence fantasy where you are a demigod on the battlefield. And
Yes.
literally to see a Cadian look up at you and just bow down with their weapons while you are walking around with your bolt gun, insane. There is nothing quite like listening to that bolt gun rip through Tyranids and Thousand Sun. There is what up?
No, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh,
I forgot.
there is also nothing like hearing that chainsword rev up or the power hammer or the power fist. Any to, the deeper you get into that story, the crazier it gets. The attention to the lore and the detail, down to the pauldrons and the knees and the ankles of the fucking armor of the Space Marine itself is so it's very loved, and you can tell they did it with love, and that's why it is doing as well as it's doing. On top of it being an amazing game, greatly optimized, runs fucking amazing on my system. and all the stuff that they're putting out for this is just nonstop. Well, this is the last we've seen Space Marine in any capacity. In any capacity. So, Space Marine 2 is my pick, and that's my prediction.
Very
Damn.
good.
All right, I stand alone here. I mean, we all have the same prediction, but picks
Yeah,
are
You'll have
I think
Godsmack.
but I think you're absolutely. I think you're absolutely right, Nick. And yeah, I've loved everything about it. I'm excited for the future of it. I hope they can continue it for quite some time. And yeah, I think that it's the dedication to the lore. I think is what is going to keep me going because it's that commitment to we're going to keep this accurate with what they have built over 40 years is a very big thing for me. And I'm also more of a co-op guy, so like I love the bigger attention on operations than just putting out more PvP stuff. Like I
yeah.
really do enjoy that. However, cowards, it's only 3 people, not 4. um Sorry, gotta do
I
it.
wish.
Fair.
It's man, Left 4 Dead did this 10 years ago, come on. Anyway, on to the next
15
category.
years ago.
15 years ago.
Fuck.
Yes.
Oh my god, you're
Almost
making me feel
10,
old now.
15
That's
years
not
ago.
Now
fair.
shut
I'm
the
not supposed
fuck up.
I'm not supposed to feel this way.
All
um
right.
I had 7
anyway.
years and I feel that much older.
um this is best VR or AR game for the
A
best game experience
fast
playable.
category. Sorry.
Yeah, that
Yes,
should be pretty
very
quick.
quick. That should be pretty quick for everybody. For the best game experience playable in virtual or augmented reality, irrespective of platform, we have Arizona Sunshine Remake, Asgard's Wrath 2, Batman Arkham Shadow, Metal Hellsinger VR, and Metro Awakening. Can I take a quick guess here? Have either of you played any of these games?
I own Asgard's Wrath and I have never played it.
Like the first one or the second one?
2, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Asgard's Wrath 2.
I
I bought it
own
upon release or shortly
okay.
after, and then I have never touched it because
I
VR makes me nauseous.
I own the first one and I think I played it for like 10 minutes because I couldn't figure out where to go. It was not very like
Hmm.
it didn't direct you very well. Um I'll go through mine real quick because mine's gonna be the same. Metro Awakening, it's the only one I've played. Also, I'm saying this in a lot of ways. I love Metro as a series. I love Metro as a franchise, both as books and as video games and just media in general. I think it's great. I would love to see a TV show or a movie of Metro. I think that would
Yeah.
be a great thing that they could adapt. However, fuck this game. Spiders are stupid. And the fact that you did not have arachnophobia mode as an available option at launch, oh my God. The horrors I experienced in that Meta Quest 3 will be unheard of. Like, you're just sitting there, you're walking around, all of a sudden there's a spider on your hand. You're like, what the fuck? And then you're like, oh, I'm in VR. It's not real. But it's like for someone who has arachnophobia, that's terrifying.
Yeah,
So
fair enough.
my pick and prediction for just pure, I love it. I love the franchise. Being able to mess with those really um like a Mad Max sort of style weapon, like where it's just the shells are hanging out of the side and you're just, it's open to the air and all that sort of stuff like that. That's really cool to be able to play with those weapons and everything. So yeah, my pick and prediction are both Metro Awakening for this. Pretty easy
Very,
for me.
very good. Nick?
Nick?
My pick is gonna be Metal Hellsinger because that game was fun, not in VR. So I can't imagine how
Okay.
fun it is going to be in VR. My prediction will be Metro Awakening.
Nice.
Very good. All right. So I have not touched any of these. Uh, my concern with Metro is the fact that it came out and I never heard a single word about it after the fact.
It was like a month ago, yeah, too. It was
Yeah,
very, very
it
soon.
just recently came out and I
Yeah.
never heard a single word from anyone about this game. That being said, the only game I have actually heard anything about and it has been positive has been Batman. Also,
I've
who
heard
doesn't
Batman's
want to
really
be
good.
fucking who doesn't want to be fucking Batman?
I've heard
Uh
Batman's really good, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. So my pick and my prediction are both going to be Batman Arkham Shadow.
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
Nice, dude. Hell yeah. I would actually like to play that, especially because that's made for like the MetaQuest 3.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I have a 2, so I'm not going to
so
be able to play it unfortunately.
oh, you can't play it at all with the 2?
No, it's only for the 3.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's so shitty. I recommend though, if you since you have one, if you haven't used the AirLink thing, man, that is a game
Yeah.
changer.
That's true.
I use it out in the living room. I just have the sunroom door open, and it's like I have that full space. It's like I'm connected with a cable. I'm
Yeah.
surprised at how like good that is.
This
I,
is
I I did
That's
hear a lot
crazy.
of good things about Asgard's Wrath early on, and then later
Okay.
on, after the fact, I heard like people were like, "Oh, it's kind of repetitive." So it's kind of one of
Uh
those weird ones where people were super hype on it to begin with, and then it just died out. Again,
Gotcha.
I own that one, and I will play it eventually, but I half the time forget I have VR. To be perfectly honest.
yeah, same.
Yeah, that's fair.
Cool.
But yeah, we're on to Nick.
Yes, another fast one, I think. Best mobile game. We have AFK Journey, Balatro, Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket. God damn. Wuthering Waves and Zenless Zero. Can I just give me Balatro for both, bro? Any chance I get to vote for this game? More than likely, I'm going to vote for this in both
Yeah.
aspects.
That honestly, yeah, we talked about this a little bit. So I'll put you down for both.
Yes.
Uh, we talked about this a little bit when we were doing the initial reveal type of thing. And it is one of those games that I have a it fuck, I don't know. It's tough because I think that it works very, very well on
Yeah.
mobile, but it also was never developed to be a mobile game. So I that's kind of where I like.
You're like, uh-oh. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It was ported to mobile. It works incredibly well. In fact, that's the only way I've actually played this game, and I absolutely adore it, and I will give it flowers later on. But this is not the category that I give it flowers in. But yeah, goddamn, Belatro's so fucking good.
Did you see that you can buy the actual physical trading cards or the actual cards?
Oh no, I didn't.
15
Why do you,
bucks.
why do you do this? Why
15
do you
bucks,
do
bro?
this?
It's 15 bucks.
I know. But every time I'm on a show with you late and I've been drinking, you're like, "Hey, did you know you could
Time
buy
out.
this?"
Time out. I got you right now. Let me see.
uh,
Balatro physical cards.
so okay, so you're Belatro for both.
Yes.
My God, this is tough because I adore Balatro, but I also am going to actually pick Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket.
Okay.
And that is also going to be my prediction because one, Pokemon doesn't fuck around,
No.
and and when they're in a category, they're probably gonna win it. But I actually do really enjoy Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket. God, it's a mouthful. They
It
really need to
is.
just kind of. Uh, but so I started playing it probably 2 to 3 weeks ago, and you just kind of keep picking up cards and things of that nature. You don't really have to engage in the battle system. It can basically just be a log on twice a day, grab your fucking cards that you can get and go on. So it just becomes trading. I am the type of person that really enjoys the collection aspect of it. It really speaks to me. It's something that I fucking adore. And so yeah, for me, both my pick and prediction are gonna be Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket, and I
There.
think it does it quite well.
uh, can I like I don't even know what to say about this. I use my phone for browsing Twitter, looking at emails,
What
and
else?
talking to my
Watching porn.
friends, watching porn.
You want to just
Um,
pick one thing and then go for it here?
I'm
Yeah,
just gonna say,
just
well,
buckle down.
I'm just gonna say Belatra for both because it's a cool name. Like
Balatro is awesome. It truly is, but
that's why it's my pick and prediction mostly because you guys like specifically you are praising it. Like I
yeah.
don't know any of the other ones. I couldn't care less.
Yeah, Pokemon is just it's a fucking force to be reckoned with, man. Like
Oh yeah, I bet.
you can't go up against fucking Pokemon and expect to win.
Right.
Even with a game that
No
is
way.
so well known as Balatro. I think to me Balatro is just more well known for not necessarily being a mobile game, but for being just Balatro.
Yeah.
Um
Right.
so I think that's where Pokemon's gonna get the edge there personally. But
For sure.
Cool.
cool. Fuck, are we back around to me? Goddamn.
Yeah,
Yes,
buddy.
sir.
Best debut indie game. For the best debut game created by a new independent studio. So we have Animal Well by Shared Memory and Big Mode, Balatro by Local Thunk and Playstack, Manor Lords by Slavic Magic and Hooded Horse,
Love it.
Pacific Drive by Ironwood Studios and Kepler Interactive, and A Plucky Squire by All Possible Futures and Devolver. I'm gonna go ahead and go first on this since I read it. I am giving both my pick and prediction to Animal Well.
Cool.
The
Okay.
only reason I am doing that is because I think Balatro is going to win a different category here, personally. Balatro is personally my pick because I have not played Animal Well yet. But uh, I also enjoy Donkey. I enjoy what he's doing. I like how he is going about his business currently, and so for that, I would like to pick Big Mode and Animal Well, and also I think it is probably going to get those flowers because people fucking adore this game. So, Evan,
Nice. Yeah. My vote and prediction as well would be Animal Well. I've not played it. I'm solely going off of Brody's recommendation here. The only one out of these I've played is Pacific Drive. I did not really enjoy it. Um, just kind of, I don't even want to give it any criticism because I don't think it was any fault in the game. Like I really don't.
It wasn't your
It did
game.
not it just did not appeal to me. Yeah. I haven't played Manor Lords. I'm not going to vote for that. Obviously I haven't played the other games either. I haven't played any of these other than Pacific Drive, but I'm giving it to Animal Well because I do like Donkey. And
yeah,
if he's making games, I trust that they're made well and I trust they're made with love, and that's enough for me. I don't need to really look at anything else. Out of any of these, I would probably go and play Manor Lords personally as a pick for any of these, but I haven't yet, so it's not a part of that vote. But yeah, Animal Well for sure, both.
oh yeah,
Give me Animal Well and Big Mode for both.
Mm.
Um,
Go big mode.
Go Big Mode. You can't go wrong with
go
the
big.
Dunkster, and you can't go wrong when it's one person making the game.
Yeah,
Sound,
It's true.
game, the entire thing was one guy. Crushed it. And having Donkey behind him pushing this game further was amazing. What Big Mode and Donkey doing, as Brody said, is awesome. Because when you see a lot of these YouTubers do this, it's skeezy. It always ends up bad. Always. But with someone like Donkey,
Yeah.
you see him go, I'm going to do this with my wife, and we're going to do it right. You go, that's the guy I would expect to do it right. And they
yeah,
did.
Right.
Animal Well came out. I wanted to play it, and then I played it on my PlayStation 5, and I sat there for fucking hours playing this game, and I loved every moment. And I still want to go back because there's so many secrets and so many different things that you could do in this game that unlock different paths. And Animal was amazing, and it deserves its flowers right here in this category. So for that,
yep,
Big Mode, Shared Memory, Animal Well.
hell yeah, Evan,
To
it's your
lead off
category,
of
my guy.
to lead off of what he just said, which is going to be great. Best independent game for outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional publisher system. Animal Well by Shared Memory and Big Mode is the first nominee on this list. Balatro by Local Thunk and Playstack. Lorelei and the Laser Eyes by Simogo and Annapurna Interactive. Neva by Nomada Studio and Devolver. And UFO 50 by Mossmouth. To go first with this, again, Animal Well, Big Mode. That's all I need to say.
Cool.
Drop the mic. Who's next?
Um, I'm gonna
Nick.
pick Animal Well, Big Mode, and Shared Memory. My vote, fuck,
Your
Balatro.
prediction,
My
A
Balatro is
my
prediction.
my prediction is Balatro.
okay. Yeah,
Though I would like to see UFO 50 win.
yeah. UFO 50 is it's neat.
I would
It's
love to
very
see
cool
that
what they've
game.
done
I
there
would
for
love to
sure.
see it win. But my pick, and well, my prediction.
So, Animal Well across the board for the last category for all three of us. That being said, best independent game, I'm going to Balatro.
Okay.
Um, personally, I think Balatro has done something very special and really captured a zeitgeist that I didn't know it would be able to.
That was
The
one guy
fact,
too, right?
yeah, it was one dude. The fact that Balatro has been nominated for Game of the Year, I don't think it will win there, but
Still
I
there.
do think, yeah, it's still there, which is crazy. And the
Sure.
fact that it is there really screams to me that it's gonna take best indie game. If it doesn't, that seems kind of fucked up to have it in with the game of the year, but also not be good enough to win best independent game seems insane.
Yes.
So I'm going, and I have not played Animal Well. I already said that, but um, as much as I would like to see that win here, I think it's going to win in the debut indie game category, and I think
Sure.
Balatro is going to sweep the fucking floor here.
Oh,
I think it will easily
Cool.
take that. So
Awesome.
sick.
Hell yeah.
Is
All
it
right.
hell
back
yeah,
on me?
Yes,
it
sir.
is.
We got best community support, and may I say, fantastic. 3 of these stand out immediately to me.
Yeah,
Oh
So
yes.
we have Baldur's Gate 3, Larian Studios, Final Fantasy
14.
14.
14, Square Enix. Shut up, Evan. Shut up. Fortnite, Epic Games, Helldivers 2, Arrowhead Studios, SIE, No Man's Sky, Hello. I will
Yes.
go first, I guess. Baldur's Gate 3, Helldivers 2, and No Man's Sky are just God, you just love to see it. You just
Yeah,
love to
Yeah.
see it
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
because No Man's Sky crawled its way back after getting kicked off Mount Olympus and said, "No, motherfucker, round 3,
Yeah.
let's go."
Yeah.
And by the
Let's do it.
way, we came with free everything and just threw a bunch of shit out for everybody. That's
Yeah.
incredible. That is incredible. It is awesome to see that entire team and studio go, okay, we fucked up. Let's fix this. And let's do it the right way. And let's do it like no other studio is going to do it. Let's just do this. Let's grand slam it. That's what they did. No Man's Sky is one of the biggest comeback stories in gaming in my and I love that it's still being talked about. With that being said, my pick is gonna be Helldivers 2
Okay.
your
because of
pick,
how
Helldivers.
Helldivers 2 is my pick.
Okay, just
How
making sure because you
yes.
just went on this monologue, so I wasn't sure.
I really wanted to give No Man's Sky its love. I'm not, but because it deserves
Yeah,
it. But Helldivers 2, the CEO is on Twitter talking to people about Helldivers 2. Like, if you don't get more community than that, you really just don't.
right.
When the CEO is like, "Hey, I love this game as much as you do. I'm playing it, and I want to know what you want in it." To see when the community overcame its first big challenge, we all got a cape for that. Like memorizing and memorializing that day, amazing, awesome,
Yeah.
great stuff. But Larian Studios has been top dog in this category. Not the winner here is gonna be Baldur's Gate. Again, the motherfucker showed up in a suit of armor.
He
Like
did. He really did. Sven did not give a shit.
Yeah,
you
Sven
cannot
is
beat
awesome.
Sven and that team. They those 3 teams I mentioned though are so incredible. So that's who's gonna win.
The-
Yes.
Yeah.
well, go ahead, Brody. I'll add on at the end because this is part of Baldur's Gate. So
So I have to say that all of these are incredible examples
Yes.
of what this
yes.
community support is. Whether you like Fortnite or not doesn't really matter. They
Oh,
keep
you're right.
pumping out content. They keep doing things for the community.
Hmm.
Sometimes they're met with adversity and whatnot, but I
Difficulty.
think
Yeah.
at the at the end of the day, Fortnite has been going strong for so long and
Monumentally
just
long.
been and been a complete and absolute powerhouse. The
Oh yeah.
same can be said for Final Fantasy 14. I think the most recent expansion that they launched was kind of met mixed from my understanding, but at the end of the day, like that game is huge. You can have like thousands of hours into that game and still not fully see all of it.
Yeah.
Helldivers 2. I adore what they've done with this game and how they have really gone about like promoting this community aspect, creating this like you're fighting for regions, you're fighting for areas. Like that is so fucking cool. It's such a good idea and a great way to kind of promote this like, hey, everybody get involved and enjoy what we're doing here
Yeah.
and work together in some capacity. That being said, I have to go back to No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky has done something that we've never really seen a game do in at this level of this like taking a game that came out and was just panned over and over and over and over again. And some of that is due to Sony's marketing, right? But
Yes. Yes.
they climbed back from that. They created what the promise was to begin with, and have now, I mean, made a stupid popular game, a game that they should be very proud of, and that really now lives up to that expectation that they kind of placed before it. So for that, even though this game shows up every year in this category, I think that No Man's Sky does deserve it. I truly think that they actually have the best community support overall, and really do deserve this. I mean, honestly, year after year, because they have done an incredible job. That being said, I am with Nick on this. I think Baldur's Gate is going to take it, and I don't disagree with that either. I think Baldur's Gate is fucking incredible. This game, the way that the studio has kind of stood behind this, even though they don't plan to add DLC, they just keep adding more shit to this game for completely free, and just the mod support and everything else they have done there. Fuck man, Baldur's Gate is just so hard to contend with, and if it belongs anywhere, I think community support is the place that it belongs. That is my prediction.
Cool.
Evan.
Okay. All right.
Here we go.
To
Buckle in.
to not wax too much on on this entire category, although all these games certainly deserve love, even the two that I don't really play, which would be Final Fantasy 14 and Fortnite. They both deserve love. Helldivers 2, I totally agree. The region clearing and fighting for managed democracy, I feel the need to add managed every time because we can't lie to our viewers what we're fighting for. Um, uh, I think that had a great motivator at the beginning. However, I feel that I can't vote for Helldivers or predict it, mostly because I feel like it dropped off with a lot of us towards the middle of the year, and
Yep.
I didn't see a lot of innovation from them on their part in terms of like adding a fourth or a third faction to fight, which was kind of rumored from the start with the black hole and all
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. So it felt sort of like let down a little bit. Um, but to really move on to two of the biggest things in this category, this is a really tough pick for me. I have played both of these games this year, Baldur's Gate and No Man's Sky. Um, I have played No Man's Sky since 2016 when it came out. I played it. I was actually, according to your brother Nick Julian, I was one of the first people on Steam to play it. I was like able to get in. I was like one of the first 1,000 people to load the game up and actually get into a game and play
That's sweet.
for a minute, like a time that could be measured on Steam. And uh, when I played it, it was not what we expected. And it's been 8 years, and it is entirely what I now expect of it and more. They have implemented the tech they're using for their next game, which is Light No Fire, into No Man's Sky. So there is an incredible amount of density to the planets now. There is a real desire for me, even though I have like I hate big deep oceans. I have this immense desire to go to an ocean planet, No Man's Sky, and build an underwater base because that's now like that's feasible. It's been feasible for quite some time. um and I love it so much. My pick is Baldur's Gate. um because of the immense amount of love they've poured into it after the fact, fixing issues, correcting things, adding like the magic mirror to change your custom, like change your visuals after the fact because people asked about it and there wasn't an option. I love that. And then they said, you know what, here, you know what, not only are we going to support your mods, we're going to build a mod manager where you can upload your mods and you can use our tools to build these things that you want to build. And then not only that, which is what I wanted to add on to this, which was posted November 27th. So this was last week. Uh, community update number 30 includes photo mode, crossplay, and 12 new subclasses coming in
Insane.
2025. Like, then they said this is basically their last like content update. Everything else is going to be more of bug fixing and just sort of like keeping things clean. But what kind of like imagine an end to your community patches, adding in crossplay, a major feature that people have been asking for ever since the game came out. 12 new subclasses, each for all the classes that you have created in the game off of D&D 5e, and photo mode. Like, are you serious? Like, that's what you're capping off on? That is incredible to me. On top of everything else you've done, all the labor that you've put into this game and defending it, as Brody said. So my pick personally because of that is Baldur's Gate, but my prediction because, as Brody said, No Man's Sky just deserves it. It's been on here so many times. It's No Man's Sky. Like it has worked so they have worked so hard to provide a great experience for us, from providing MMO experiences with multiple like big parties to fighting massive monsters like a sandworm. Oh, he just took his fucking headphones off as I said that. Oh my god. That's poetic. But like seriously, that is incredible to me, and the fact that they don't plan on stopping, because No Man's Sky, when they put that, like it was like two parts, right? They had it was No Man's Sky Worlds Part 1 was that like Light No Fire update of like, hey, we're updating all the planets to the Light No Fire tech. That's part 1. They have not introduced part 2 yet.
Right.
Like, and that they have not introduced part 2 yet, mind you. They have introduced No Man's Sky Aquarius, which is like adding a bunch of like fishing and like sea content to the game. You can now fish, you can have a like exo skiff, you can have fish traps, all this sort of stuff. You know what I mean? Like they don't stop. And I
Yeah.
think that's impressive. Like, and that's why they get my prediction, because they absolutely just deserve it at this point. Like, I don't know how they can't win, I guess.
Yeah, I I would agree on that. Like, it's just Baldur's Gate is incredible,
It
and
is.
I adore that game so much. But No Man's Sky, what they have done over the past fucking what 9 years,
8
8 years,
years
nine
now.
years,
Well,
yeah,
2016, I don't remember the specific date, but
yeah,
the year was
8 years give or
2016. Yeah.
take. So like, god damn, man, they've done so much and all for free for the most part. Like, it's
No, entirely
insane.
free. You can't pay for anything.
Yeah,
Like as far as I can tell, there's nothing you can pay for except for the game. Every single content patch has been free to everybody, which is incredible to me. Like the
yeah,
fact that they've not asked for monetization is what blows my mind. You know what I mean? They haven't even tried to add things you can pay for. They're just like, yeah, here's another update. It
yeah,
adds all this stuff. Here's another update. It adds all this stuff. Hey, do I have to pay for any of this? No. Are you adding any monetization? No. Like what?
crazy,
Like
crazy.
that blows my mind. Incredible. But yeah, no. This is a tough category, probably my favorite category of everything so far.
Yeah.
Like a real tough one.
Whose turn is it? Are we back to me?
Did Evan just do that one? We're 2 hours in, boys. I don't know what's going. I don't know what's up or down.
Best community support. Who started that? It was Evan, right?
That was
Yeah.
me.
No, we're back to.
No,
Okay,
that was
we're back to
Nick.
me.
So this is
Okay,
you.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. That's what I thought, but you know,
Birdie said
uh,
he was not responsible for the second half of this show.
I did say
That's true.
that. I
That
did
is true.
We're two
explicitly
hours
say
in.
that.
We're two
Uh,
hours in. We're doing our
We are
best.
2 years in. Yeah, we're doing our best.
Best ongoing. So awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. Destiny 2, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Helldivers. Evan, you're up
This
first,
is
bud.
Yeah, this is tough. My pick personally is probably going to be Helldivers because it's the only one I've actually consistently played, I think, this year. Um, okay, I'm gonna make my prediction, then I'm gonna ask this question, so I'll just suffer the consequences. My prediction is Diablo 4. How has Diablo 4 gone this year?
Pretty good, honestly.
Okay.
I have played pretty much every season so far.
Yeah, you've played
Uh,
every season for sure. I know that you've talked about him every time. So
yeah, I think I missed maybe the second or third season, but
okay,
the most recent expansion was really cool. Added a new class, the Spirit Born, I believe, and
okay.
that
Broken.
class is yeah, it's
Oh, it's
broken as
broken.
fuck.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But
Yeah,
I mean, they're trying to get people to buy the expansion, so I kind of get it. But at the same time, the expansion is very good. The new season is pretty good. I don't particularly like most of the cosmetics and stuff that come in the past, so I didn't actually end up picking up this pass. But I did play through the expansion. I finished all of that. Diablo 4 is in a good place right now, and they seem to be making steps in the right direction to make it to where it is not a problem in the future as well. So I
that's
would
good.
say overall, enjoy it a lot.
Sure,
My turn.
Yeah.
that would be you. Yeah,
I'm gonna pick Helldivers. I'm going with Diablo 4.
same as
Okay.
me. Nice.
So I am actually, I think that Helldivers is going to get flowers somewhere, and I think it deserves flowers somewhere. That being said, I think this is where it's going to get its flowers. I also, it is my pick as well, because I have not voted for it anywhere else, and I think they have done a pretty good job of continuing to kind of put out more content for this game and give more options and things of that nature.
Sure.
While it may not be exactly to the capacity I would love to see, I would love to see that third faction or some other things. Right? I think they have done a good job of supporting this game and creating for the people that stayed around long enough, and that's my hang up. Right? I don't know how many people truly stayed around to really interact with this content in a meaningful way. I mean, when you're going up against things like Fortnite, that is just it's a fucking powerhouse in this category, to be perfectly honest, and I think
Yeah.
they do super fucking well. Like my kids were on the point where they just really did not play Fortnite anymore, and the last two seasons have kind of drawn them back in, and they're playing Fortnite again.
Right.
So it's one of
Yeah.
those weird things that for me as a parent watching my kids play games, like Fortnite should take this easily, just because of the way they can like, oh yeah, somebody bounces out for a season and they're like, hey, come back, and
Yeah.
people come
Yeah.
back every fucking time. I'm Final Fantasy's a juggernaut in this category as well. Like, fucking MMOs just rule this space in general. I really enjoy Diablo, but there's still some hangups here and there. Destiny 2's in a shit show of a space right
Yeah.
now. It's not
Yeah.
good. So that being said, my pick is going to be Helldivers 2. My vote is also, or my prediction, sorry, is going to be for Helldivers 2 as well. I
Cool.
think this is where it will finally get some love.
For
Sick.
sure.
Evan.
Okay. This would be where am I at? Sorry. Games for Impact.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, for a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message, we have "Closer the Distance" by Osmotic Studios and Skybound Games. Uh, Indica by
Indica.
Odd Meter and Indica, sorry, by Odd Meter and 11-Bit Studios. Neva by Nomada Studio and Devolver. Life is Strange Double Exposure by Deck Nine and Square Enix. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 by Ninja Theory and Xbox Game Studios. And Tales of Kenzera Zhao by Surgent Studios and EA. To go real quick on mine here, my vote and prediction both are Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. This is the only game I played in this category. However, I loved it for the very like couple hours that I played it. It's not a very long game, but I did not finish it. But
A couple
however,
hour
I
game,
love
bro. What
the
are you doing?
it's like a 6 hour game. I played two. Give me a break. I got busy that day. I loved the first one. The second one was much better. I thought it was. It's really good for that cinematic feel and also that sort of. The first game had a really good deep dive into that sort of feeling of having these other voices in your head telling you what to do or like what you're doing or how you're doing something wrong and whatnot. And I think that it continued very well in the second game. It kept that feeling. However, they got way more cinematic with it, which I
Yeah.
liked. Like that was really cool to feel like every fight was not unique because you could tell that some of the animations were used the same or that like the way she moved was the same in certain aspects, but like the way they tried to make it feel that way where it was more of a movie rather than a game was kind of cool. And I liked the meaning that they were trying to get across with that and like what they were trying to bring like sort of attention to. I thought that was cool. um but yeah, that's my pick and prediction just solely because I played it. That's the only one I played out of all these, and I really loved it. I thought it was really good.
Very
Gi-
good.
Give me Indica for both. I played Indica. I thought it was a cool story about mental health and all that, and that's all I. Just give me Indica. Both.
Fair enough.
That means two things.
That was
It does.
Family
Uh,
Guy.
I have not played any of these games. Um, I'm gonna go Neva or Neva, however you
never,
pronounce
I
it.
never.
don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know. Yeah.
for both. I've seen it pop up a couple different times. I have seen the game itself, but I have just never have interacted with any of them. But this one seems to show up quite a bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick that as well as make my prediction for it.
Cool.
Nice. Hell yeah.
One lands on me again, and this time
That's his tradition.
we are right now. I'm gonna introduce the category and games. I'm gonna give a special shout out to somebody I think deserves this shout out, who's fucking awesome, and everybody once I give the shout out should go check him out. Um, innovation and innovation in accessibility. So we got Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Diablo 4, Dragon Age: The Veilguard, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, and Star Wars Outlaws. Before we dive in, I want to give a huge shout out to Legally Cited, aka Jesse Anderson, who is has a YouTube you guys can go check out. Who is a accessibility advocate and consultant. Very knowledgeable in this field, and if his handle is anything to take of note, he's illegally cited. So go if you want to listen to anybody talk about accessibility in games, it's Jesse Anderson, aka illegally cited. That's the guy you want to listen to. Go follow him on YouTube. Legally cited. Follow him on X and Blue Sky as well, or Bright Sky, Blue Sky,
Blue Sky.
Blue
Blue
Sky.
Sky. Cool, good nick.
Blue Sky.
Um, again, whenever this topic comes up on the show, we can't say much because this isn't our category. Um, I'm just gonna take a wild swing and just give it to Diablo for both. I've
Diablo for
seen
both.
I've seen
Okay.
some of the things that you can do in accessibility mode in Diablo, and I've seen kind of accessibility mode in Call of Duty 2, and it's pretty impressive what they're able to do for those with disability in these games. And I mean, I've watched a dude get headshots through a straw, like a breathing tube
Yeah.
straw,
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, that's incredible.
like
Yeah.
moving around with his mouth and then blowing in and it's insane. Like
Yeah, it's cool.
that they're making gaming for everybody, and it's getting bigger. This the disabled community, just fantastic. Again, this Diablo, I that's legally cited knows more. All right, you guys go now.
Brody.
Way to pass the
Boy,
buck.
yeah. As
Was
Nick
it me?
that way.
No.
Oh, yeah,
I,
this is sure.
as Nick said, this is not a category that we pay a ton of attention to just because it is not something that generally affects us. Um, that being said, I do wish that I would pay more attention to it because these games deserve to get recognition for the advancements that they have made towards accessibility. Uh, but I also just unfortunately have not paid enough attention to it, and that's a me problem. I apologize. That being said, I do know that I have heard a little bit of rumblings as far as where Dragon Age stands. So my personal pick is for Dragon Age, just because I would like to see this game actually win an award somewhere, and I think this is really about the only category it's going to happen. Because from my understanding, this is a solid game, but also just not quite to that point.
Yeah.
So that is going to be my pick. However, my prediction is actually going to be Star Wars Outlaws. I think
Okay.
Ubisoft actually does a pretty solid job with some of the accessibility options that they offer. Um, and while this game may not necessarily meet the heights that it needs to win other categories, I would like to think that maybe this is where it does get at least a little bit of love.
Cool.
Um, my pick and prediction both for this are Diablo 4. I don't really have any merit on this. I apologize. Like I don't have any pick sort of, so I'm just gonna pick both of those as the same because I like as I think you said, Nick. Like they had some pretty good options for people that would be helpful. And I unfortunately I wish that I've always said that I'm almost certain I've said this before in previous recordings that I wish for specific categories, specifically a category like this, that they would explain what they innovated in. I know that's a lot to ask for realistically in the grand scheme of things, because then you would have to apply it to every category. But like, I would just like to know so that way I would understand, because I unfortunately I don't have to use anything that
Yeah.
they add for accessibility, so it's like I just don't know, and I wish that I could have an educated opinion on this. That's probably my fault because I should have just researched this. But my pick and prediction both are Diablo 4 for this. Um, I know that I voted for Last of Us Part 2 when it was up for that same category. I know it won that time. But I wish I knew the specific, I guess, settings
Yeah.
that were available so I could see, what's available in this game, what's not, and maybe make my prediction off that, or my pick off that. But still, I wish that there was a little bit more detail involved, I guess.
And again, as we've said on the show, this is a very important category. It
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 is,
it, it, it it's
absolutely.
incredibly important because it puts the spotlight on the
Hmm.
entire industry and goes, keep doing this and make it better each time. And I think that is
Yeah.
important
Yeah.
because gaming is for everybody. It just is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Absolutely.
it's important, and everyone should feel important while gaming. So again, legally
Yes.
cited. I think we're actually going to be bringing him on the show hopefully soon to talk more
Yeah, I
about
hope so.
this. So
That'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
um, stay tuned for that. We're going to talk to illegally more, and we'll get him on the show so he can better explain what we cannot explain to you. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best performance. So awarded to an individual for voice over acting, motion, and or performance capture. We have Brianna White. So hang on. Before I get into this, it drives me crazy that they don't state who this person plays in this fucking
Thank
category.
you.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
The
Because I
only
just
one
saw this.
it's very frustrating. The only one that I actually figured out was this first one. So Brianna White, she is the voice of Aerith in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Hannah Tell is somebody in Life is Strange Double Exposure. Uh, Humberly Gonzalez is, I assume, the protagonist in Star
Yes.
Wars Outlaws.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
Luke Roberts in Silent Hill 2.
The protagonists for sure.
Also protagonist Melina
And Melina.
Jurgens. Honestly,
Senua.
Final Fantasy 7 is the one that I was like, there's a lot of characters. What are we doing here? Everybody else pretty much plays the protagonist.
She's
So
Sephiroth.
Melina
Yeah.
Jurgens is yeah, she's Sephiroth. Senua Saga Hellblade 2. Uh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. This is a tough one. So I'm going to vote for the only one that I have actually played, and that is going to be Brianna White in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Aerith is
Yep.
a fucking treasure, and I will stand by that statement. That is both my pick and my prediction.
Give me Melina Jurgens, Senua.
I'm
Okay.
the same for both. Yeah. Uh, Also, the only one that I was able to actually really listen to because I did not play much of Star Wars Outlaws or Silent Hill 2, as I said, 50-10 minutes wise. So the
Very
other
good.
two I did not play. The other two I did not play. Um, but I don't know if Melina was the same voice actress for Senna in the first game, but
Oh yeah,
Think so? Yeah.
yeah.
I
Because
would
that's
assume
like
so.
her.
Yeah. I mean, she looks exactly like her, so I would assume they're the same. I really love her performance. I think she's great.
Yeah,
I wish that. Unfortunately, I don't think it's Humberly's fault. I think it's just the fact that it's a Ubisoft Star Wars game and that it's just going to be generic and it doesn't feel that unique and unfortunately, like, that's not her fault. I think that she's actually probably great, and it's
yeah,
just that she doesn't get the material. Same thing with like I'm sure Luke Roberts is great. I didn't play enough of Silent Hill 2, so I'm just not even gonna comment on that or Life is Strange or Final Fantasy because I did not play them. I'm sure they're all great. I don't
yeah,
think it's anything to do with them. At the end of the day, I as someone who likes to write, I usually blame writers.
yeah.
So I don't blame actors for a lot of things. So that's my pick, but yeah, Melina for sure. Pick and prediction.
Cool.
That'd be sick.
Next one is on you,
Yep,
buddy.
that's me. Yeah. Best audio design, recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. We start with Astrobot by Team Asobi and SIE, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 by Treyarch, Raven, Activision, and Xbox, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth by Square Enix, Senua Saga Hellblade 2 by Ninja Theory and Xbox Game Studios, and Silent Hill 2 by Bloober Team and Konami. To go real quick on this, um, best audio design, if I had to give it to anybody, would probably be Senua Saga because they do some crazy
Spatial
binaural shit.
audio, dude. Like
They
it's
do
wild.
some crazy, yeah, like it is really meant to put you in that mindset of like you are hearing voices in your head. Like they
Like
are
having a schizophrenic episode.
they really like they specifically mentioned, I don't remember if they do that in the second game, but they did do that in the first game and I noted it in my mind just because it was the first time I'd ever seen that sort of, message letting me know of what I was going to get into. But like when I turned the binaural setting on in the first game, they specifically were like, you will hear voices in your left and right ears. Like you're going to hear them independently. It's going to feel like if you have noise canceling headphones or if you have, like, I have noise canceling headphones, if you have that and you play one of those games and you're not around anybody, it's terrifying
Yeah,
because that shit feels real. Like there's voices to your immediate left and right, but there's also like sort of like diagonally to your back left and back right. You're like not sure where they're coming from and they're all sort of saying the same thing at the same time trying to influence you. It's really good. They That's why it won that sort of category for me. But yeah,
cool.
Senua Saga for
Way to
sure.
pass it.
Nick.
Um, I'm going to pick Call of Duty. I'm gonna pick Call of Duty. I thought the guns were pretty punchy. I thought
Yeah,
the explosions sounded great as well. I think the soundtrack for the single player was pretty good as well.
it was good.
So
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like the sound design here was really good. Um, I think Senua's going to take it though. I really do think Senua's going to take it. Like I said, the first Senua, it really wearing headphones. It's like, whoa, dude, this needs to stop. And the second one did the
Yeah,
same shit 10 times that, in my opinion. Um, really makes you feel like you're having a psychotic break. Sometimes you're like, God damn, dude, it's too much, but it's in a good way. So I think Senua takes it.
for sure.
My pick and prediction are both going to be for Hellblade. I think that from what I have heard about this game, I actually did not invest the time into it to actually play it. But my understanding is that the game, the first one was actually better, which is odd and contrary to what Evan said earlier. But that being said, where this game has always stood out has been its audio design, the hearing the voices and hearing how she is struggling with what is going on internally, and depicting that in a way that makes you feel that same way is
Yeah.
incredible, and they
Yeah.
really knock it out of the park. And so much of that is from the audio design itself rather than an atmosphere or being like you hear voices in your head. No, it's not that. They literally just play fucking voices in your head and really mess with you. So both my pick and prediction are both going to be for Hellblade.
Sick. Back
Awesome.
to me. We got best score in music. Ah, look at that cute little fella. So we got Astrobot leading the charge here. We got Final Fantasy 14 Rebirth, right?
7.
Damn it.
7.
Why do they have so many
7,
different
brother.
Final Fantasies everywhere?
There's no X there.
I don't know. Eighth grade, bro. Metaphor
What?
I only got to eighth grade. You know this. Audience knows this. I
It's
just put,
Roman numerals.
dude. We are on our last 4. Can we just Metaphor Refantasio?
5. 5
5.
actually.
He
This is
doesn't
number
put
5.
numbers
This is 5.
either.
This is 5. Silent Hill 2 and Stellar Blade. I'm giving my shit
Man.
to Stellar Blade both because I know
Oh,
that score and music
Okay.
is fucking sick.
it is so good.
I know it's sick, but I also know Final Fantasy VII score. Like I know that soundtrack. It's
Yeah.
just insanity. Is pure insanity, orchestral insanity. But
Yeah.
like, I think I'm gonna
For
give it
sure.
to both. I have to give it to Stellar Blade.
Uh, so I'm gonna just go ahead and leapfrog off of what you just said. My pick would be Stellar Blade, but I also think that Final Fantasy VII is going to win it because Jesus Christ, man, he goes insane with that fucking orchestra music. Like it is insane, over the top craziness. Metaphor is a very close runner up for me. It is very good, but the problem with a lot of these Atlas games is they replay a lot of the same songs over and over again. So the battle theme, while the first time you hear it, you're like, "What in the fuck is going on?" There's like monks cheer or like chanting in the background, like all sorts of crazy stuff, but you hear it for the rest of the game during every battle type of
So
thing.
sweet.
So it is super good, but it is just not quite as diverse. My biggest problem with Stellar Blade is you also still hear a lot of the same tracks over and over again. There's
Uh,
like 200 and something odd tracks in this game, but I don't know where they use a lot of them because whenever you're in like a big open world area, that area has its own track. So you kind of do hear a lot of the same stuff. That being said, it is that kind of near automata style of music, but also maybe just dialed up a little bit more. I think the music is actually better than near automata ever was. But it can get a touch repetitive. So yeah, for that, I'm gonna say my pick is still Stellar Blade because I really adore the music that's going on there. But my prediction is going to be Final Fantasy VII because boy, is it hard to compete with a Final
Put
Fantasy
my
game when
prediction
it
down for
comes.
Final Fantasy. Yeah,
he
no.
has changed that shit. Um,
uh,
to just really run through mine quick as hell. The only game I played out of all of these was Silent Hill 2, so my pick is Silent Hill 2 because it's the only one I heard. However, my prediction is Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth because everybody else said that would win.
I wish Astrobot would win for the simple fact we could just hear "I am Astrobot" play at the Game Awards over and over again.
Astrobot's
Yeah.
cool, but I just don't think it can take this one,
No, it
man.
cannot.
And
Like,
I agree. Yeah, I think that Final Fantasy would win probably just on the fact of its scoring music, and it's probably
oh,
got a wider range of shit than Astrobot does,
yeah.
just because of what it is. But yeah,
Final
like
Fantasy is always a juggernaut in this category. Like,
I
they
bet.
just go crazy with their scores.
I'm sure.
Oh
Alrighty,
boy,
Brody.
my turn.
Last
Okay,
4.
Yes, sir.
Now last 4.
last four indeed. I gotta place my vote real quick,
We
and
are
then
almost
we will
there,
move
guys.
it
We are
along.
2 hours 33 minutes in.
To be fair, some of that's going to be cut. It's still like 2 hours and 20 minutes.
10 minutes of it's being cut, yes.
Best art direction for outstanding creative and or technical achievement in artistic design and animation. First up, we have Astrobot, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring Shadow of the Eld Tree, or Erd Tree, sorry, Metaphor Refantasio, and Neva.
You pass.
I'll
Oh,
go ahead and go here just real quick. FromSoft games always have the craziest and most gnarly art I've ever seen in a game, and for that, I'm giving it both my pick and prediction for Elden Ring.
I
Same
too.
as Brody.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Cool.
We're all the
Elden
Elden
same.
Ring.
Ring across the board from
Thank
WASD.
God that was easy.
This is again, this is one of the this is a fact. The fact of it is that I played the DLC right after I finished the game. So all of it is kind of a blur to me. I don't really differentiate between the main game and the DLC. However, I've not finished the DLC. I've gotten into kind of a roadblock with where I'm at right now, but like god damn, man, it's just so fucking good. Even the shit I hate. I hate the scorpion spiders, whatever the fuck they are. Like
Scorpion.
the scorpion
I
Scorpions.
dead
spiders, like
end.
I do not, I dead dent. I do not like the scorpion spiders. Like seriously, I do not like them. But like having to confront that sort of fear and just run through that was part of that experience. And again, like I think that's why it deserves it. Like the art in that game, like you guys said, just so good. Like
How we all are saying Elden Ring, I do want to give a little bit of love to Metaphor in this category just because their
sure,
designs for the humans, which are the monsters in the game that you fight, is fucking insane. Just absolutely the most batshit insane stuff I have ever seen, even beyond Elden Ring. Um, but where I think it suffers the most is the fact that it has this cell shaded kind of design and it
hmm
kind of looks a little rough around the edges at times. And that
hmm
is what kind of takes that art direction away from it. But their actual designs and their general idea of what they're doing there is fucking incredible. The execution of Atlas games in the art department is kind of rough at times and can just
yeah,
be a little almost fuzzy, I guess. But
sure,
yes, anywho.
awesome.
You, Evan.
Yes, best narrative for outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game.
We are
Uh,
breaking down.
Yeah,
we are
we're
breaking down.
it's fucking two
Final.
and a half hours is a long time to be doing this shit.
Yeah, it is. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth by Square Enix. Like a Dragon: Infinite Wealth by Ryuga Gotaku Studio and Sega. Metaphor Refantasia by Studio Zero and Atlas and Sega. And Senua Saga Hellblade 2 by Ninja Theory and Xbox Game Studios, as well as Silent Hill 2 by Bloober Team and Konami. Real quick, my pick is Senua Saga, Hellblade 2. Best narrative for me is probably going to be, if I'm going off prediction on who wins, Final Fantasy 7. I don't know why. I'm not a Final Fantasy guy. I assume it's going to win because it is Final Fantasy, and for whatever reason, every single game gets nominated every year. Um, like
Because they're good,
seriously,
you fucking chud.
I believe you, but like, there's what? There's 7 Rebirth, and there's 14. Where are we at here? What's going on in the story right now? Like, and I'm saying that as
These
someone
are
who is like,
remake. They're
if I
remakes.
wanted to get into it, how would I do that? You know what I mean? But like, I'm not
So
criticizing it for this at all.
I'm just gonna answer this for you now.
Sure.
Every
Okay.
single Final Fantasy game is kind of standalone, so you can
Okay.
interact with whichever one you want. 14 is the
Sure.
online MMO.
Okay.
Final Fantasy 12, 11, 12. One of those was, I think it was 11, was also a uh, MMO that was online.
Okay.
7 is a remake, so Rebirth, and the one that came before it was just remake, I believe. It's a 3-part series of a remake of Final Fantasy 7. Yeah, I know
Okay.
Nick is hurting
I
there.
know
So
Nick's
basically,
head hurts.
No,
Mine
it's a
does
lot.
not.
Final Fantasy is a lot.
it
It
it, it
is.
it is very much a lot. But
Yes.
Final Fantasy 7 remake and Rebirth
Dick is
are
hurt.
both, they're 2 parts of a 3-part series of remakes for Final Fantasy 7. They took a game that was 80 hours long and turned it into 3 40-hour long games at least. So there you go.
Sure. Okay. All right. Thank you.
But
No,
yes.
I appreciate the explanation.
I'll
Yeah.
go ahead and go
Yeah.
here. My best narrative, Final Fantasy VII has long been known for being one of the best narrative games of all time.
Yes.
People beloved this game because of their narrative that is going on there. That being said, I am not going to give it to it because it is a remake in my book, and I think that is a tough one to be like, yeah, this should win it again, granted, Game Awards were not a thing at the time of Final Fantasy VII, the release, but I think to me, God, I have to go metaphor. I'm a fucking shill for this game. I adore this game in every capacity. The story. I'm probably a little over halfway through this game right now, and I really would like to finish it here soon. But boy, is it hard. Not because it's difficult to play, but just because it's a game you have to devote all of your attention to. But I have to give it to Metaphor. What they're doing here is very, very cool. It's not the most revolutionary story in the world, but the way they present it and the way that they are going about it so far has been very, very fucking cool. And
Mm,
everything about this game is very like metal and over the top and this like very high energy anime meets this metal type of fantasy world. It's very, very cool. I have to give it both my pick and my prediction.
Fantastic.
hell yeah.
For this,
Nick.
give me Senua's
Last two.
Saga. Oh,
Oh,
I
sorry.
didn't vote
Okay.
yet, motherfucker.
Oh, my bad. My bad. I'm sorry. I am a motherfucker. I'm
My
sorry.
pick is Senua's Saga, Blade 2.
Okay.
Um, the game, for as short as it was, takes you on this ride.
Yeah.
It takes you through Senua's struggles, everything she's going through, and it just throws you in. Really, it's really neat. I do think Final Fantasy will win. It's
Yeah,
Final
probably.
Fantasy. It's Final Fantasy 7 at that. It's one of the most beloved franchises and one of the most beloved games, polarizing games in the franchise. I mean, it's a hard one to beat. It's a hard one to top. Final Fantasy will probably win this, but Senua Saga is my.
Very good.
Uh,
Yeah, it boy, it's a tough one,
it is
honestly. Like narrative is such a difficult because it's so subject to your personal
your
tastes
person.
as
Yeah,
well.
exactly.
Like, I mean, it's just yeah. I'm surprised to not see Black Myth here,
Yeah,
to
I
be
am too.
perfectly
I think we
honest.
said that when we were
Especially
announcing.
yeah, because it's I mean it's Chinese folklore. Like it should
It's
absolutely be
sick.
here in some
Super dope.
capacity. But yeah, it's the basis of Dragon Ball to some extent.
Yeah.
Like, but interesting.
All right, guys.
Whose turn?
My turn.
Oh shit! I
Yes,
get to do Game of the Year.
you
Yes,
Holy
do.
you
shit!
get Game of
Yes.
the Year this year.
Yes, you get goaded this year.
Final two.
Goddamn. Final
And my
two.
last category is Best Game Direction, and I will read it out. Awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. This category we have Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Metaphor Refantasio. This is difficult
It
because
is tough.
I believe Shadow of the Erd Tree is allowed to be here.
Yeah. I
Shadow of
Okay,
the
yeah.
Erd Tree
I agree.
should be here.
Yeah.
Balatro, not so much. You
It's
know,
a great game, but it's poker with extra steps.
right. So
Okay.
I am
Okay.
gonna pick fuck.
Yeah, wow.
This is
Okay.
where it gets tough.
I'm gonna pick
Yeah.
you know what? I'm gonna pick Black Myth,
Okay.
but I predict Elden Ring wins this one.
Okay.
Uh,
Go for it,
are
Ed.
you?
Yeah.
Yeah. My vote and my prediction are both Elden Ring.
Okay.
Um, again, man. So eagle-eyed viewers will know that in 2022 when we did the Game Awards, I voted for God of War Ragnarok while these two fucks voted for Elden Ring. And here I am now. It's game
Who was
direction.
right? Who was right?
You were.
That's gonna sound great
uh,
for the audience. Thank you both. You
I hope it
fools.
does. I hope it does. Um, here I am voting for Elden Ring
Yeah.
as game direction and predicting it. Again, because I had played it right after finishing the game, but like, oh my god, how do you like there's no better way to start a DLC in my opinion. Like It was really good. It flowed for me. It felt very good to just
Oh,
jump right into it. It really did. It felt so good to because I had beaten Moog before I had beaten the rest of the game. So I had
same.
already been able to get to that point, but I had beaten Moog and then I asked you guys, I was like, "Hey, this is where I can go to the DLC." And they're like, "You guys were like, you have it?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, you can go there, but like you should finish the game."
Mhm.
And I finished the game, and then without doing a new game, I went back and just did that and continued, and I thought that was incredible. So that's why it gets my vote here because it fed into this new world so well, and it had this. I mean, everybody in this Discord reacted to it, the Spawn Camp Discord, which you should join, by the way. Um, Everybody reacted to it in the same
Plug
way,
boy
where
Evan.
yeah, plug boy Evan.
Well,
Oh, gross. Um,
we're gonna talk about
everybody
your
took a screen
rebranding soon, bro.
everybody took a screenshot of that first, like open shot that you had of like the Erd tree, and you had the big
Breath of the
the
Wild moment.
yeah, really. It was like I don't know what the name of that enemy was, but it was the like Colossus with that was basically a giant fire pot was
Yeah,
like in the frame for everybody. Like that was a shocker for me, and that's why it wins that game direction for me. Just because that immediate instance of like you're entering a whole
it was
new world,
visceral.
even though you've been here, you're entering an entirely new realm of what you can deal, what damage enemies can deal, and how fucked you are. Like it was a whiplash, so to speak. But yeah, no, pick and prediction both. Elden Ring, I love it. I like a lot of these other games too, just from what you guys have said, but it's the only one I've played, unfortunately.
Yeah. Um. So part of the reason I have not played the Elden Ring DLC is the fact that I beat the game and then I
Okay.
started New Game Plus. And so I
Ah,
have to get to a certain point in order to do that. If you know
sure.
me, I hate replaying games.
Yes, you do.
I wish I never had started a New Game Plus so I could enjoy this DLC. And that is what took me out of it and why I have not engaged in it. I am not horribly far off from being able to actually enter the DLC. I should be able to do it probably with, I don't know, 5 hours of work, given where I'm currently at. But that is, to me, I don't love that decision. It is very much a FromSoft decision, personally.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
I understand that is what they do, and I should have known better, but I didn't at the time because I was planning on getting every ending. I was planning on getting all of the trophies for it, and I
Yep.
got pulled off of it to play other things. So
Gotcha.
unfortunately, I locked my fucking self out of the DLC in order to pursue all of the trophies and kind of fucked myself.
Sure.
That being said, back to this category itself. I am going to give my pick for best game direction to Final Fantasy VII. I really love what they're doing here. I love the slight twist on a classic game that has, some of the best narrative in all of gaming and is beloved for very, very many different reasons. And I think they've done a pretty good job here as well. I think I need to go back to this game. It's another one that I've gotten pulled from, and that's kind of unfortunately the nature of what we do here, where we get pulled from game to game to game to game to game.
Yeah.
And it can be a little startling when you're trying to actually talk about games in a real way. But that being said, I try to share the love quite a bit here, and I try to give a bunch of different games some flowers because I think a lot of these games really do deserve this. I am actually going to give best game direction, my prediction, I guess, to Black Myth Wukong. I think this is where Black Myth is actually going to get the attention that it sounds like it deserves,
Yeah.
and it sounds like they were true to the folklore that inspired this story, and it's a huge reason why it is beloved, especially in China, and why this game keeps showing up on so many of these different lists. Um, I have not interacted with this game in any capacity other than watching one person in our Discord play it for a half hour maybe. But it does seem very cool. I enjoy any game that really leans heavy into folklore and inspiration from reality, I guess, of or beliefs, and kind of really leans heavy into those sides of things rather than just being like entirely this made up deal. So for that, my prediction is actually going to be Black Myth.
Sick.
Oh yeah.
We are on to the final category, the game of the year for 2024. We have made it. Thank you for sticking with us if you are still listening at this point.
The Soul
We
50.
are
Running on
nearly
fumes.
nearly 3 hours in. We are tired. We want to get this done, but at the same time, boy, is this a fun one to talk about. Game of the year,
Evan went, fuck.
recognizing, yeah,
I don't give
recognizing
a
a
shit. I'm
game that
drunk as shit, man.
recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. Oddly enough, this list is the exact same as best game direction. So Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor ReFantasio. I will go ahead and give my picks first.
Oh.
And I am not going to elaborate too much because you guys all know how I feel about this game. My pick is absolutely Metaphor ReFantasio. This game
Yes.
is so fucking cool. I enjoy it so much, but it is very, very tough to go up against a lot of these games here. I think Balatro is going to win in the best independent game, and so I do not foresee it winning here. I think Black Myth is not necessarily niche, but I think it is something that very much applies more to the Chinese culture rather than the US culture, which is going to be predominantly the judges that are voting in this experience. So I don't think it is going to take flowers here. I think a lot of people are torn on whether Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree should be in this category at all, given the fact it is DLC for a game that already won Game of the Year a few years back. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. We kind of talked about this in the nominee announcement episode, but this is a remake of a game that came out many, many years ago and is beloved for so many different reasons. But for that reason, I don't know if it belongs here because it is a rehashing of what has already happened. And for that exact reason, I am going to say Metaphor is just a touch too niche in order to win this, and I would love to see Astrobot win. And I think Astrobot is my prediction for Game of the Year of 2024.
Oh,
Who you who do you want to go next, Brody?
Go ahead, Evan.
yeah.
All right, I got a lot of thoughts on this. I'll get my stuff out of the way for you first, Brody.
Thank
My
you.
pick and my prediction are both Astrobot.
Okay.
To explain my reasoning for this, I've not played Astrobot. I like it because he's a cool guy, and
He
that's
is
why I think he should win.
Yes.
That's pretty much it. Balatro I have not played. I have no feelings about, so that's totally fine with me. Same thing with Black Myth Wukong. I have not played it. It's not something that I'm familiar with, and that's totally okay with me. Um, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is an interesting one for me. I have no issue with it being here because if I were to have an issue with it, I would be a hypocrite. Because I was totally fine with Resident Evil 4 being on here, and Resident Evil 4 is a remake, but largely carries, I mean, if not completely carries the entire same lore from the original
Yeah.
in. It's just it reintroduces players like myself into a thing like that where we have better mechanics, better graphics, better whatever. Um so it would be wrong for me to say that it shouldn't be here because yeah, I would be a liar. Um what I do not what I believe does not belong here is Elden Ring, and uh, I summed this up quite well with the rest of the Discord a couple days ago, which was no, there should be no nominee for Game of the Year where I have to own something else to play it.
Yep.
Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree is a DLC. if I were to buy this $40 DLC or $50 DLC, whatever it is, I know I literally paid for it. I could look it up and tell you what I paid for it, but I don't have that on hand. But regardless, I paid for Elden Ring to play this game. So
It's $40 for the record, $39.99.
okay,
Just
so it's $40 for the DLC. It's what, $30 or $40, maybe even more for the actual game. But that's the
yeah.
point.
If you were to pick it up from Steam right now, it's $60 full pop.
Gotcha. So right there, that's my thing. My whole thing on this is that I think Astrobot should win because he's cute and cool and fun, and that's the end of the story. Um, that's really it. I have no skin in the game for any of these other things. The only game I actually played on here was Elden Ring, and as much as I loved it, and I love Shadow of the Erdtree, I love that DLC so much. It is DLC. People have to own Elden Ring to play this DLC. It is not the same. You have to play through Elden Ring to play this DLC. This should not be nominated for Game of the Year. I don't care if it has the same content or the same amount of content as a section of Elden Ring. That does not dictate what is Game of the Year. Every single one of these games I can pay the price for and play it. If I want to play Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree and I've never played an Elden Ring, if I've never played Elden Ring or anything about it, I have to pay for the game and then the DLC. That is not acceptable
You
as
have
a Game
to
of the Year
get
nominee.
pretty fucking deep into the game in order to access
Yes,
it as
it's
well.
not. It's not something. Yeah, exactly. It's not like you get 5 or 10 levels in and then boom, there you go. There's the DLC. No, you have to
No.
basically get close to the end of the game to get to this point, which I think is also egregious to nominate for Game of the Year. I'm sorry, but like there were plenty of other games this year that deserve this. Personally, for me, if I had to put something in its place, I would say Space Marine.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, this is a DLC. And if there's anything that I will stand on, it is that no DLC that I have to pay for on top of paying for a base game should be nominated for Game of the Year. End of
I
story.
agree.
Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty was not nominated for Game of the Year. It was nominated for Best Narrative, which is fine. But it wasn't nominated for Game of the Year because you know what? You had to pay for Cyberpunk to play it.
Looking
Absurd.
at Elden Ring, you're looking at $100 as
Yes,
well as probably at least 40 to 50 hours in order to be able to even access the content that is in Elden Ring.
That's if you're good enough to get
The
to it.
Yeah, Shadow of
right.
the Erdtree. Yeah, exactly. Like it's not
Exactly.
that is, and honestly 40 50 hours is probably on the low side. Like I don't think I hit Mog until 80 hours in this game. Granted,
I
I did every
certainly,
dungeon and everything else, but like
yeah,
holy
you guys
shit,
were
man.
way more diligent than I was, and it took me a while to get there. But to add on to that as well, right? It's that fact of
Yeah.
like there's work that is involved there. Um, I don't know. I don't think that it should be involved in Game of the Year. It doesn't fit here. And to add on a little context to this, I went through and I looked at all of the other Game of the Year winners and Game of the Year nominees from 2014 to now. This is the first DLC that has been nominated for Game of the Year. It is
Yeah.
not like this is a new thing. Everything else has been an actual game that you would just pay 50, 40, $60 for and then there you go. But like this is something where yeah, you're paying whatever the price of Elden Ring is plus this DLC, and I don't think that's fair, personally.
They they put something out like 2 days before the nominees that was like, "Hey, by the way, DLC can be nominated." And everybody knew what that meant. Everybody
Yeah.
knew what they were referring to. It was Elden Ring, of
Yeah.
course. Um,
Well,
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
all of us stand on the same side of like Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree should not be here. And but at the same token, like I wouldn't be surprised to see this win, and I think that's
I
fucked
would
up.
not
And I
either.
feel like a
I
lot
agree.
of people would be very upset about that.
I
But
agree.
I wouldn't be surprised to see it actually win and take this category, and that's unfortunate.
I agree. Yeah, it's sad for sure.
Nick,
All right.
wrap us up here, buddy.
I'm going to wrap us
Yes,
up.
sir.
There are 4 games that deserve to be here, and there are many games that are missing that deserve to be here. And that is sad to me. As great of a franchise as Final Fantasy is, man, seven it's still a remake. As great as Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree is, still DLC. It doesn't meet that standard, and if this is the standard that the Game Awards is setting, then you're in for a disaster because
Yeah.
the community is not happy with that. Final
Yep.
Fantasy, it's kind of a Final
I,
Fantasy is
I feel
lucky
like Final Fantasy has a better
leg to
reason
stand
to
on.
be here
Yeah,
because it is still like a 60-hour game that
there's
Yeah.
does
yeah,
expand upon the original, but also like I agree, like I wouldn't vote for this personally because it's something we've already experienced.
right.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
the community has made their voices heard when it comes to Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree, and again, the game is incredible. This expansion of the game is incredible. It's breathtaking, but this is not the place for it. You could have had Warhammer and Animal Well here, and honestly, you should have had Warhammer and Animal Well here. Those are the two games that are missing, and that is incredibly sad. Um, I really hope that the Game Awards and Jeff Keighley took to heart what the entire community said. It wasn't just we're not the outliers. We are
Yeah.
the loud majority. Going,
Yes.
no, this is wrong. There's again, Animal, Neva, um, Warhammer. Warhammer deserves to be up here greatly. Helldivers too.
Yep.
What are we doing here? With that being said, I'm giving all my roses to Astrobot. This game was such a breath of fresh air. I'm so used to playing the most violent, disgusting levels of video games to where when I saw Astrobot announced, I immediately pre-ordered it for my son. I went down into Astro's playground and I showed him where the secret little room that was made for the launch for Astrobot was. And we sat there and watched the timer go down periodically through the weeks and the months and the lead up. That was really fun. Um, Watching him play it on release day was incredible. I didn't play the game on release. He played the game on release. That's one of his first gaming memories. Like, yeah, he plays Goat Simulator and he's played Doom and Doom 2, the OGs, which is fucked up.
Hell
He's
yeah.
4, but he loves those
Oh,
games.
whatever.
But watching him play Astrobot, actually play that game, was a memory that I will also have. And then when he went to bed, I played Astrobot, and I fucking sunk my teeth into that game, and I was beating the puzzles, and speed trials, and the game is so heartwarming, and it's a breath of fresh air, and I love my shooters. I love my Warhammer game. I love my Elden Ring. I love it. But I needed Astrobot. It's one of those games where you could pick up, smile, and get that stupid fucking song stuck in your goddamn head, and just smile and laugh about it. So I hope
Yeah.
my pick and my prediction is, or sorry. My pick is Astrobot. My prediction, unfortunately, is Elden Ring.
Okay.
It's
Oh, well,
unfortunate.
now I gotta fucking change the image I just put.
Sorry. Yeah,
No, you're good.
that is my unfortunate prediction. That is that Elden Ring is going to win. Again, last time I'm gonna say it. Love Shadow of the Erd Tree. Absolutely adored it. Does not deserve to be here. So that's where I'm capping that off.
Yeah. Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
I agree.
Whew,
Boy,
We're done.
we are
we did it. We did it.
3
Good
hours,
job, fellas.
3 minutes. Um, Stay tuned, guys, because next week, Evan, are you joining us?
Yes, absolutely. I'm getting my tooth pulled the next morning. I have no reason to not be there.
Fantastic. So next Thursday, we will be live streaming the Game Awards. So you'll see our genuine live reactions, as always, every year.
Yes.
I will be way more drunk next Thursday. So I will
I
be
wish.
smashed on Thursday. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be a great time. I'm sure we'll bring Logan in. I know Logan hopped in 2 years ago. He just hopped in and we like brought his camera over. It was funny what we did like 2 years ago. And yeah, we're just gonna have a blast. So be there on Twitch, on Camp Co, for our live reactions of the Game Awards. And then, are we going to be doing an episode for the Game Awards, grading it? Or are we gonna
Yeah,
save
we
that for the week
probably
after?
will. I don't. Yeah, we probably will. I don't know when it will release or when we will actually record it. It may not come out until like early the week after or something of that nature because boy oh boy, it does not end until like 11:30 anyway.
We've done that
So
Yeah.
before too.
we will figure that out, but we will have an episode basically going through. We will announce all of the winners, and we will kind of talk about it, whether we agree with it, whether we disagree, how we feel about it in general, especially if Elden Ring wins Game of the Year again. But yes, we will have it in episode. We will let you guys know when we decide to do that, when it will be launching. It may not be recorded that evening after we're all done because it will be late. And also, as Nick said, he will be quite drunk. I will also probably be quite drunk, and Evan
And
will probably be quite drunk.
And we've
yeah,
done that
to be
before.
honest.
We have done that
Yes,
before where
we
we
have.
recorded, and we have a funny video of Evan that is called. It's a banned video of Evan. We're not allowed to show anymore, even though there's been plenty of times where I have it on my hard drive, and I'm like, I could just put this in the middle of a spawn camp video, and just
I'd be so fucked.
I we're not posting it, but it's from our enjoyment. Um,
I'd be so fucked.
dude, you're like, delete that shit. I'm like, I can't. I just can't.
You're like, I can't. I gotta blackmail you later, and I'm like, what?
Oh my god. But be sure to
Jeez.
follow us and sub to us on Twitch. It's Spawn Camp Co. Follow us on and subscribe to us and like our stuff on YouTube. It's Spawn Camp Co. on YouTube. We're picking up more steam on YouTube, posting more regularly, and going to be streaming on Twitch a lot. Hopefully, I know I say. Bear with us. We are
Yeah.
all trying our best. Check out the audio versions on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you may listen to podcasts. Checking us out there. Leave us a rating. Follow us on that platform. Helps us get larger so we can get more guests on the show. Check out our sponsors, Final Boss and Doc Longy. Check out the Spawn Camp community server. It's a good time. Join. It's free. And until next week, guys, take it easy and be safe.